Hello and welcome to Chinese Novel Audiobook. Explore our playlist for more captivating novels, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new audiobook. Now, let's dive into today's story. Chapter 81, The Secret of the Supreme Immortal Sect. Ha ha ha, it's good to kill a clean one. Zhang Sheng laughed loudly. Little friend, do you feel a little arrogant? Do you know who will be following you next? Without waiting for Su Yang to answer, Zhang Sheng continued. It will only be a change of circumstances. The same as the sky-changing environment, and there is a huge gap. Some old guys have spent many years in the limit of the sky-changing environment and have mastered a lot of methods. Even if you can defeat one sky-changing environment, what about 2 or 3? And as time ferments, your growth trajectory will be known by more beings, and will only be watched by more people. In this way, you will only become more and more dangerous. But, Zhang Sheng changed the subject and said with a smile, practice in the palace, and I can guarantee you to break through to the martial saint realm. Suddenly, no one in the world will dare to think of you. How? Well, it sounds good. Su Yang blinked. Dare to ask martial saint, but is he invincible? Naturally. Zhang Sheng nodded with a little complacency on his face. Then if you can't beat me, martial saint, wouldn't I be invincible? Su Yang said with a smile. The world, naturally look at the world, the supreme immortal sect exists in the sky, so naturally it doesn't count. Little friend, your words are a bit rampant. Zhang Sheng squinted his eyes and said, it's better to be more popular a year ago, but too much is not good. Su Yang shook his head and said nothing, but released his own sword intent and enveloped Zhang Sheng. Master Wu Sheng, I don't think I'm telling the truth, what do you think? Zhang Sheng's squinted eyes widened instantly. At this moment, he felt as if there was a sharp sword on his neck, which could take his life away at any time. It's been a long time since he had this feeling. The most important thing is that under this terrifying sword intent, he doesn't even have the strength to resist without the help of national weapons. This is just the sword intent released. I think what Xiaoyu said is right. Zhang Sheng's mouth twitched. Where did this pervert come from? Little friend, your strength has surpassed the realm of martial saints. After a moment of silence, Zhang Sheng still couldn't help asking. Well, it should be beyond. Su Yang said uncertainly, and he also knew what the other party wanted to ask, so he said directly. I'm not too clear about this, I only practice sword intent, I believe you can see it. The ability to cultivate to the present level depends entirely on my comprehension of sword intent, so you don't have to think about it when you grow old. Zhang Sheng calmed down after hearing the words that had just excited him. There is no need for Su Yang to lie to him. After seeing Su Yang's strength, most of the big stone in Zhang Sheng's heart fell, but not completely. Because he didn't know Su Yang's attitude towards the royal family. If Su Yang can help Daxia stabilize the situation, then he can completely relax. I don't know what my little friend thinks of Daxia. After thinking for a moment, Su Yang said, I know what you want to say, Wu Sheng. Big Shah is now in a mess, because there is not enough force to keep the world under control. But the current emperor is not bad, and he cares about the people, as can be seen from the establishment of the inspection department. I want the people to live a better life, but I don't want to be an emperor. It's too troublesome, so I don't mind helping the current emperor. I can wipe out all the rebels in the world, but your majesty must reuse the 2 institutions, the Junwu division and the inspection division. The laws of the great Shah must not be trampled on, and the people must not be exploited by the family. When they are oppressed, they cannot have nowhere to seek justice. Quote. The people of this world should not be bullied at will. Zhang Sheng has seen what Su Yang has done in the past 2 months, so he also understands what Su Yang is thinking. But Su Yang's idea, why not His Majesty's idea? Don't worry, little friend, I will pass on your words to His Majesty. Since the strength of little friend is already above mine, I naturally don't need to worry too much. However, you need to pay attention to the Supreme Immortal Sect. In their sect, there are monks in the Golden Core Perfection realm. Among them, at the early stage of the Golden Core realm, it is no longer something I can beat, at most a tie. After Zhang Sheng got the answer he needed, he also reminded Su Yang again. I want to ask, is this Supreme Immortal Sect the strongest immortal sect in the world? Su Yang became curious about this sect. Judging from the information he knows so far, Taisheng Shanzong is the strongest. Yes. Zhang Sheng said solemnly. This supreme immortal sect is not from our world, but from the outside world. 200 years ago, there were only martial arts, literary arts, and some weak immortals in the whole world. Foundation establishment was the end of the immortal cultivators. But after the supreme immortal sect came, everything changed, and more powerful immortal cultivators appeared in the world. The method of cultivating evil immortals is also distributed by the supreme immortal sect. Little friend is very strong, but it is still far behind that golden core. Before you are absolutely sure, you must not provoke people from the supreme immortal sect. I don't know what Taisheng Shanzong plans to do in our world, but judging from the current situation, everything he does is destroying the environment of the entire world. It is mentioned in some ancient documents that destroying a cultivator and destroying the world will cause a world's heaven to punish the world. The Taisheng Shanzong has not made any major movements at present, but those evil immortals are acting. The terrible thing is that since the arrival of the supreme immortal sect, the way of heaven in our world seems to have disappeared. If they really intend to destroy our world, suddenly, the only one who can save the world may be you, little friend. After Su Yang asked, Zhang Sheng also told some things he knew. The more he talked, the more worried Zhang Sheng became. I understand, don't worry. Su Yang also felt a little heavy in his heart. Knowing more truths, the greater Su Yang's need for strength. Taisheng Shanzong. Little friend, the world depends on you. I am already old. I will go back and report your words to His Majesty. Zhang Sheng smiled and left. This trip, he felt it was worth it, an unprecedented value. He saw the hope of this world. After Zhang Sheng left, Su Yang returned to the house and continued to swing his sword. LV35 is Martial Saint. It is the early stage of Golden Core, so what is the level of Golden Core consummation? Su Yang is not very clear. There is only one thing he needs to do, try to improve the level of sword intent. Only with enough strength can we smooth out all the wind and rain. For him, sword intent is the root of everything. All laws in the world are not as good as his sword. His sword can also evolve all laws in the world. In the deep palace, Zhang Sheng also told Shah Zhan what he saw and heard. This night, Shah Zhan was happier than ever. He felt that someone was finally able to help him share the burden on his shoulders. As for worrying that Su Yang will fall in love with the throne. No, he wasn't worried at all. With Su Yang's realm and age, even if Su Yang doesn't mention Shah Zhan, he knows that Su Yang doesn't like the throne. If you really want it, why not give it? In such a world, strength is everything. A position can't decide anything, just look at the way he bowed his knees to Taisheng Shanzong. What about the throne? Facing the strong, you still have to bow your head. Teacher, since Su Yang is so powerful and hates corrupt officials and treacherous officials so much, I would like to conspire with him to return justice to the people of the world. What do you think? Yes, but the details need to be discussed in person. Then wait until the reward is over. Chapter 82 Seal, Great Shah Sword Immortal. One night passed. Early in the morning, Yi Tianba took Su Yang into the palace and waited for the call in the side hall. Shah Zhan sat on the dragon seat, scanning the crowd below. After walking through the normal process, Shah Zhan soon began to talk about today's topic. The things discussed earlier are not as good as what happens next. Dear friends, do you know that the blood refining sect that ravaged Lingshan Prefecture has been resolved? As soon as Shah Zhan spoke, there was complete silence below. Fortunately, some people finally knew about the situation. Return to your majesty, I know that it was a sword fairy who took action, destroyed many evil cultivators, and restored peace to my Lingshan Prefecture. Sui Feud answered from below. That's right, it was shot by a sword fairy. This sword fairy is a member of the inspection department of Tianfeng County, and he is my favorite in the summer. It's a pity to be an inspection envoy in Tianfeng County. I will take this opportunity to reward you. Let Su Yang enter the palace. After Shah Zhan finished speaking, all the civil and military officials present were basically dumbfounded. It's not clear what's going on. Some of them were clever, but they thought of Shah Zhan's mood change some time ago. Perhaps this is why the Holy Majesty was happy a few days ago. Sword Immortal must be a cultivator of heaven-changing realm. Big Shah has a heaven-changing realm cultivator, which has a great relief effect on the current situation, and it is indeed something to be happy about. However, who in Lingshan Prefecture has broken through the sky change? All civil and military officials were thinking in their hearts, thinking of the right candidate. Thinking about it, but no one can think of anyone who can break through to the sky change at this point in time. Just waiting for Su Yong to enter the hall, everyone was stunned. Who is this? Let's not say they haven't seen it. Don't say that this young junior is a heaven-changing sword immortal. Looking at its appearance, it is the year of the most weak crown. But all the civil and military officials looked behind, but there was no one there. This. My humble minister Su Yong, I have seen your majesty. Su Yong didn't kneel down to salute, but just bent down to salute. Not to mention his identity, his strength alone is enough. Above the master, you don't have to kneel when you see the emperor. Why Li, I already know what you did in Tianfeng County. To solve the cholera of the evil cultivator of the blood-refining sect, and to save all the people from suffering, it is a reward. I know that you already have the real sword fairy, so I will give you the title Daxia Sword Immortal. Set up an official position, Supervisor Angel, who is in charge of the Junwu Division and the Inspection Division, who can supervise the world. If you see corrupt officials and those who are rich and unkind, you can kill them first and then play them. Another 10 Daxia treasure orders will be given. Daxia's achievements will be 1 million, a capital mansion, and 100,000 taels of gold. I wonder if Su Jianxian is satisfied. Shah Zhan finished speaking in one breath. Thank you, Your Majesty. Of course Su Yong is satisfied with this. Official position alone is of great help to him. The guardian angel, isn't that just letting him supervise the world? As for other rewards, Su Yong is very calm. Su Yong was very calm about this, but the Chinese and military officials in the field were not so calm. Mansion, gold, and they don't think there is anything. But it is not easy for Daxia Bowling and Daxia to make millions. The Great Shah Treasure House token can enter the Great Shah Treasury, and one token can choose one thing. This is 10 pieces. 1 point of Great Shah's achievements can be equal to 100 points of Junwuxi's achievements. Most importantly, Great Shah's achievements can be exchanged for things in the Great Shah's treasure house, which is not even a star and a half better than Junwuxi's treasure house. For these rewards, Tiancheng will be excited. Although everyone is not calm, no one stands up to be the leader. Because they don't know Su Yong, don't know Su Yang's origin, and don't even know Su Yang's details. If it were their opponent, now they would stand up and say that His Majesty must never do it. Now what they most want to know is who Su Yong is. Out of nowhere. The morning court is still going on, but everyone's thoughts are no longer on the morning court. Su Yong has returned to the side hall. At this time, the world in his eyes has also undergone earth-shaking changes. Through the panel, he could see a layer of smog covering the entire world. At the same time, countless tasks also appeared on his panel. It is too complicated. Su Yong communicates with his mind, omits most of them, concentrates on the main parts, and directly merges those that can be merged to form a big task. Open black lens bracket Tianqian sword close black lens bracket. Sword intent. LV41 20,000 30 41,000. Sword moves. Xingwo, LV41, Yujian, LV41, Spiderweb, LV41, Stellar Wind, LV41, Flowing Light, LV41, Thunder, LV41, Danger Perception, LV41, Perfect Circle, LV41, Spring Breeze and Rain, LV41, Feeling, LV41. Will of all beings, 18,021. Coverage, Bacteria. Will transformation, consuming a wisp of sentient will, can increase the proficiency of sword intent by 100 points. Current tasks. Wrath of the Northern Wilderness Army, LV33, Qingzhou Food Famine, LV37, Rebellion of Evil Immortals, LV44, Rebellion of Evil Spirits, LV53, Disaster of Beasts, LV60, Rebellion of Evil Cultivators, LV87, Justice, LV100. This is Su Yang's latest panel. As for the task, Su Yong studied it a bit, and the level of the task is determined by the wishes of the people. It can be seen that the most important thing among all the tasks of the people in the world is justice. Fully reached LV100. I want the world to be fairer and better for ordinary people. In fact, Su Yong has also thought about how to solve it and how to deal with it. The most important thing is to have a group of subordinates who are strong enough to deal with and suppress all injustices. This group of subordinates guarding the world must be so strong that they are not interested in what ordinary people can produce. In this way, their greed will not be stimulated. But you can't always use power to suppress it. Under high pressure, there will definitely be problems. There must be a guide, so that warriors and practitioners can compete for more resources. If you want to resolve internal conflicts, you need to point the finger at the outside. So, Su Yong wants to see if there are other worlds besides Daxia. Since Taishang Shanzong came from outside, there must be other worlds. If other worlds without humans can be found and connected, then most of the internal resource contention problems can be solved. There are more resources, everyone doesn't have to fight, and warrior monks will no longer squeeze the people. In this way, ordinary people can escape from this vortex at the mercy of others. As for the fighting, and entrapment among warriors, Su Yong can't control these things, and he won't. What he can do is to make ordinary people live better, so that ordinary people will no longer be treated as ants by practitioners, and will no longer be oppressed wantonly. Most of the reasons for oppression among ordinary people are for more land, for money, and for 2 more mouthfuls of food. But when these become available to everyone, oppression will be reduced a lot. With the addition of a strong Gen Wuxi, these problems will be few and far between. These will not be mentioned for the time being. Order must be guarded by a powerful military organization. Truth is the framework of order, and force is the cornerstone of order. Dynasty will gradually end over time. Su Yong did not leave. Because the **** who followed him told him that His Majesty would see him later. Next, Su Yong entered the deep palace and met and talked with Shah Zhan. After some in-depth exchanges, Su Yong was very satisfied with Shah Zhan. This is a qualified emperor, but the force is not enough. There are many things to discuss. The general result is that Su Yong got a list of corrupt officials and treacherous officials who deserve to be killed, and a list of powerful families. These existences rely on their strength. Some of them even conspired with evil cultivators, and there was no bottom line in order to improve themselves and gain more benefits. Su Yong can kill all the people on the list, and Shah Zhan will deal with the funeral. All you need to do is tell Shah Zhan who he wants to kill before doing anything. At the same time, Su Yong also obtained a Tianquan token, allowing him to communicate directly with Shah Zhan anywhere in Daxia. Chapter 83 Sword Immortal Mansion. Come out from the deep palace. Su Yong also received his reward under the guidance of Eunuch Li in the palace. There are 10 Great Shah Treasure House tokens, 1 million Great Shah achievements, 100,000 taels of gold, and a mansion. As for the mansion, he is now following Eunuch Li to choose. There are maps in the palace, including the location and layout of the mansion. Su Yong didn't have any requirements for the mansion. Just choose one at random. The mansion for this kind of reward will not be bad. Even if no one lived in it before, there are still a lot of servants cleaning it, so there will be no dust. 100,000 taels of gold is 10,000 taels of gold tickets. Merits and treasure house orders, Su Yong put them away first, but he doesn't have anything special for now. When he has something he wants, he can go directly to the Great Shah Treasure House to get it. After the heavenly Tao fragments are repaired later, he can exchange some spiritual objects, create spiritual land, and start the cultivation of the heaven and earth cultivation method. Of course, not for him to practice. Can be used to train powerful subordinates. And he is still thinking about a question. There is a cultivation method of heaven and earth, so as long as the world is strong enough and the way of heaven is strong enough, can everyone condense their spiritual roots and start the road of cultivation for everyone. Originally, he also wanted to cultivate, because he could gain more lifespan by walking the fairy road. However, as long as his sword intent level reaches LV100, he can create sword moves that increase his lifespan, so he doesn't need to take the road of cultivating immortality. His sword intent can transform all kinds of dharma, even lifespan can be increased. Su Yong followed several eunuchs out of the palace. Came to the mansion he chose. Master Sword Immortal, this is the mansion you chose. You can take a look first, and if you are not satisfied, you can change it. Eunuch Li flattered and choked his voice. I have to say that this voice is really lethal to Su Yong. You don't need to read it, just go here. Su Yong glanced at it and confirmed it. After Su Yong confirmed it, Eunuch Li also ordered the people who followed him to take out a plaque and hang it above the main entrance. Open black lens bracket Sword Immortal Mansion close black lens bracket. Master Sword Immortal, this is what His Majesty asked Wen Sheng to write. Li Gonggong introduced it openly. I have to say that there is a good artistic conception in these 3 words. Has sharpness, uprightness, and the potential to break everything. It also has the meaning of immortality, free and easy, and carefree. The artistic conception, those who are gifted in swordsmanship, will definitely be able to understand a lot from it. Really good. Although Wen Sheng is called Wen Sheng, his strength is only the heavenly transformation realm, and the power of Wen Dao is not as good as the power of martial Dao in this world. Then thank Wen Sheng for me. Su Yong said. Then the group entered the mansion again. I have to say that this mansion is really big, with 17 courtyards, including martial arts arena, gazebo, backyard, and pool. All kinds of facilities are complete. There are servants cleaning and tidying up the mansion. With the arrival of Eunuch Li, the steward here also came out to greet him. Those servants also knew that maybe their mansion should welcome a master. After strolling around, Eunuch Li asked the steward to gather the servants here. Sir Sword Immortal, this is all the servants here. If you are not satisfied, you can change them. That's unnecessary, they are all familiar with this place, so keep it. At a glance, the number of servants is 20. Su Yong has never thought that he will lead such a life. All of you remember it well. From now on, this is the mansion of Lord Sword Immortal. Even if you forget what your mother looks like, you can't forget the appearance of Lord Sword Immortal. Under a lecture from Eunuch Li, this trip is considered to be over. Next, Su Yong also briefly said a few words, mainly communicating with the housekeeper Sun Ping. Everything will be done as usual, he will mention it again if necessary, don't bother him if there is nothing wrong. After a brief stroll around, this huge mansion became his house. Su Yong then went back to the inn and took Ji Yushu and Yi Tianba over. After the early dynasty ended, the major families in the capital got busy. Everyone is busy collecting information on Su Yong. With all these huge families moving far away and having accurate location information, they quickly collected Su Yang's identity information, as well as everything he had done. But after collecting the information, they felt the same. Fake. After repeated confirmation with his subordinates several times, this is the real situation. The major families, civil and military officials, looked at the secret report in their hands and couldn't believe it. 19 years old, sword cultivator of Tianchong realm. This child must be carrying a rare treasure. But why doesn't His Majesty do it? Could it be that the new generation of martial saints trained by His Majesty? Or has the strange treasure been handed over to His Majesty? There are many people who care about Su Yang's situation. All kinds of palaces, top figures, and top aristocratic families all set their sights on Su Yong during this day. Some people see more thoroughly. But some people were dazzled by what happened to Su Yong, and their greed was hooked. The strength has grown so fast, how can it not be suspected, how can it not be remembered? They also want to see the scenery above the sky-changing environment. Su Yong settled down at the Sword Immortal Mansion and just picked up Ji Yushu and the others. Afterwards, someone came to the door and sent an invitation. It's not that Eunuch Li revealed that these top families are not rich and rich, they naturally have plenty of eyeliner. Regarding this, Su Yong told Sun Ping to reject all invitations, as he was not interested in dealing with these people. With that time, it would be more practical to swing 2 more swords. So, within a day, all the people who came to send invitations were rejected. This made the major families in the capital feel very unhappy. King's mansion. No time. HMPH. Great Shah Sword Immortal, really amazing. Let's wait and see how long it can be rampant. It wasn't just Prince Jing's mansion who had this reaction. Kyoto Yi family, Li family, Zhang family, Wang family. As long as there is some strength, aristocratic families and figures standing at the top, if the invitation is directly rejected, and it is not polite at all, they will be a little unhappy. Su Yang's refusal was too straightforward, there was no official politeness at all, just evasion. That would be slapping them in the face, which is naturally uncomfortable. At this time, Su Yong planned to go back. The main things to come to the capital have been done. At the same time, he also received a huge reward, and his status was improved. He no longer needs to live in the inspection department of Tianfeng County. In the latter case, he can completely live in his own mansion. The trip back is to hand over some things that need to be handed over. When all this work is over, he will not return to the capital mansion. Next. Naturally, the sword points at evil spirits, evil cultivators, and evil immortals. There is also the Northern Wilderness Monster Clan. Travel the world, save the world, liberate those imprisoned Daxia forces, and let them return. In a sudden, Zhen Wuxi's strength will be enhanced. This is one of the things he discussed with Sha Zan. Big Sha has too much power invested in evil spirits, evil cultivators, and evil immortals, resulting in the emptiness of internal power in Da Sha. Only aristocratic families and sects can act recklessly and regard the law as nothing. As long as these forces return, it will be time for Sha Zan to rule the world with iron and blood. Chapter 84 The Eye of Tracking. Sword Immortal Mansion. Let's go back to Tianfeng County. Following Su Yang's greeting, the three also left from the Sword Immortal Mansion. Just when he went out, Yi Tianba realized something was wrong. We seem to be being targeted by many people. Yi Tianba glanced around, and could clearly feel the feeling of surveillance. Isn't this a very normal thing? Su Yang waved his hand, indifferently said, it's not illegal to watch people, let them watch first. Yes. Yi Tianba thought it made sense. Besides, given Su Yang's current situation, it's only normal for someone to monitor him. The three of them walked on the streets of the capital, and soon left the city. After leaving the city, the three of them soared into the air, flew into the air, and flew towards Tianfeng County. After leaving the capital, most of this sense of surveillance disappeared immediately. In Yi Tianba's perception, all of them disappeared. In Su Yang's perception, naturally there are still many existences following him. The two abilities of the spider web and the sense of consciousness spread out, and everyone who followed him was seen by him. Even Su Yang knew the strength of these people clearly. The level is between LV25, LV30, and it seems that they are all the existence of the sky-changing environment. There are 9 people in total. One of them, Su Yang, pays special attention to it, because the other party has not only a level of strength, but also a level of crime. Sin. LV957. Very good, an existence whose crimes are higher than the suzerain of the blood refining sect. But it's true, the Grand Master realm can live to be about 300 years old. The Great Grand Master is 400 years old, the Celestial Phenomena realm is 500 years old, and the Celestial Transformation realm is 700 years old. If it is an evil cultivator, if it lives for 700 years, then how many people will die at the hands of this evil cultivator? Others who follow, can survive without doing anything. But this guy, no matter whether he does it or not, he is dead. Su Yang thought about it, he couldn't let this guy die so easily. Since he has such a high level of crime, he must be the leader of a cult. Maybe through this guy, a cult stronghold can be found out. Usually the reason a cult lasts isn't how powerful they are. Because they can hide, because they run fast, it is difficult for ordinary people to find them. Su Yang can use his current ability to conduct a carpet search, after all he can see the sin. But it still takes a lot of time. If there is a leader of evil cultivators leading the way, it will be much easier. Thinking of this, Su Yang secretly locked on this person. At the same time, with a thought, a brand new sword move was created by him. Open black lens bracket sword of all beings tracking eye close black lens bracket. Function. Attached to the designated target, follow him, lock his position, and see everything he sees. At present, he can't let himself see all the range covered by the sword intent, but he can still do it with a tracking move. Just like that, Su Yang hit the opponent with this move. He immediately gained the opponent's vision, and as long as the tracking eye is not cleared, Su Yang can always know the opponent's position. In silence, the person who wanted to do something to Su Yang hadn't done it yet, but Su Yang did it first. And these people don't know it yet. Deep Palace. Your Majesty, Su Yang has left the capital. Teacher, you said there will be some existences that can't help but do it. I don't know, but there should be a lot of deaths. On the road. The three of them are getting farther and farther away from the capital, and will soon leave the jurisdiction of the capital. Yi Tianba scratched his head, always feeling a little weird. he couldn't help but said, Su Yang, by the way, do you feel a little weird? What's strange? Su Yang replied. It felt like someone was staring at me. I have to say that Yi Tianba still has an intuition. It doesn't seem like someone is staring at us. There are 13 people staring at us now. Su Yang said calmly. Quote. Yi Tianba didn't know what to say for a while. Well, it turned out that he was being stared at all the time, but he couldn't feel it. The two of them had just finished their conversation, and soon several figures appeared around them. Lingshan Prefecture Wang family, Wang Chengfeng, Zai Shengjiao, Gutong, Silver Moon Palace, Master Yinyu. Sword Master, these are all cultivators above the late stage of the heaven transformation realm. The moment these three people appeared, Ji Yushu recognized their identities. It has to be said that having an old man in a family is like having a treasure, at least in some cases it is quite convenient. Does the cult change the world? No wonder. Su Yang understood. The three people on the opposite side did not cover up their figures. At this level, some ordinary cover-ups are unnecessary. Su Yang casually glanced at the three of them, and also saw the level above their heads. LV27, LV28, LV29. Not bad. Hey great Sha Sword Immortal, can you tell us how you cultivated to the present level? Ji Yutong was wearing a black robe with a little black air on his body, and spoke first. Although the other two did not open their mouths, they faintly surrounded Ji Yutong. As long as Su Yang wanted to run, he would be surrounded immediately. I really want to know. Su Yang said indifferently. If you want to know, I can show you. Want to see it? It's fine to see, we still prefer to find the reason by ourselves. After Ji Yutong finished speaking, he stretched out his hand, and a demonic palm condensed in the void, attacking Su Yang in an instant. After this palm appeared, the situation changed, and the sky where several people were currently located suddenly changed color. Was shrouded in darkness. Su Yang didn't move at the same place. The moment the devil's palm approached, a burst of sword intent erupted automatically in Su Yang's body, directly tearing the devil's palm into pieces. Ji Yutong felt bad in his heart. His palm is not casual, at least it contains 50% of his strength. But Su Yang didn't move, and his clutches disappeared in a single thought. Wang Chengfeng and Master Yinyu sank in their hearts. Since the three of them are walking together, they must know each other's methods very well. Not to mention the whole cards, but this conventional method is still understood. Ji Yutong's palm, it would take some effort for any of them to do it. Don't delay, let's do it together. Wang Chengfeng shouted, not going to continue watching the show. Good. Master Silver Moon responded. The next moment, the three of them made their own suicide moves one after another. In the sky, it was covered by three attacks. A monstrous palm. A long spear wrapped in a breeze. A silver moon appearing in the daytime. The three of them attacked, changed the sky, and attacked Su Yang with the momentum of lore. The appearance of these attacks made Yi Tianba and Ji Yushu's complexions pale instantly. Secretly said, it's over. At the same time, the spectators hiding in the air around also saw this scene one after another. They were rather curious and wanted to see how Su Yang cracked it. Su Yang will see if he can crack them. If Su Yang is killed, they will rush out immediately. They also want to know about Su Yang. The next moment, something that shocked everyone happened again. Seeing that Su Yang still didn't move, a terrifying sword intent rushed out of his body automatically. Sword code of all beings, complete and perfect. Under this sword intent, the attack of the three was like a bubble, which was shattered in an instant. Like magic palm, silver moon. It exploded with a bang in the sky, turning into nothingness. The power of the so-called changing environment is nothing more than mediocre. 3. It's my turn. Since you want to know how I became stronger so much, then I will tell you with a sword. Su Yang spoke calmly, without the slightest fluctuation in his tone. His hand has been placed on the waist saber. In fact, he has never killed anyone with a sword. It is usually a thought. Today, since someone wants to see how he becomes stronger, he will make an exception. Chapter 85. One sword changes one day. This sword is called the handy sword. Su Yang drew out his saber and waved it casually. The vast sword intent rushed out. The space in front of everyone seemed to be split, and the sword intent passed by. In the next second, Wang Chengfeng died in one of the heavenly changes on the opposite side. Was cut in half and fell towards the bottom. Ji Yutong, Master Yinyu trembled when he saw this, his heart beat faster than ever. Without saying a word, the two turned around and ran away, enveloped in true energy, soaring into the sky. Run what? Don't you want to see how I become as strong as I am now? Su Yang's voice fell, and the second sword was swung out. Master Yinyu, who ran 1,000 meters in an instant, was cut in half. Run. Let you run a kilometer first. Su Yang looked at the last figure, and still swung a sword casually. The vast sword intent is like a dragon sailing out to sea, smashing all the wind and clouds blocking the way. Slashed at Ji Yutong. This Ji Yutong had some tricks, and at the last moment he shifted his body, only to have one arm chopped off. Then the person turned into a cloud of black mist and disappeared here. Of course, this is because Su Yang is releasing water. Otherwise, the three of them would be killed in a second, so there would be no need for such trouble. You have to take a long line to catch big fish, right? After taking care of the three of them casually, Su Yang looked at the void around him. It was found that there was no one there. It runs pretty fast. Does pity work? Su Yang took back the saber casually. Then it turned into a rainbow of sword intent and disappeared instantly. Since you dare to set your mind on him, you must be prepared to be slaughtered by him. In just 2 breaths, Su Yang caught up with the 10 fleeing people. Sword domain. In a single thought, the sword field shrouded, and 10 people were trapped in it. If they want to get out, they have to break through the obstacles of the sword field. It's just that they put the Tianchong level weapons they used in the past, and they were instantly torn apart by the sword intent. In this case, they dare not break through. The 10 people stopped and saw Su Yang behind them. I don't know what Su Jianxian means by this. Yi Hongfei asked, holding back his heart trembling. The only thing they are lucky about now is that they haven't done anything to Su Yang yet. Su Yang should not kill them. The other 9 people also looked at Su Yang, waiting for Su Yang's next move. Ha 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 everyone, since you are here, how can you let you leave so easily? Did you think that you don't have to pay the price if you don't make a move? If I lose to those 3 guys today, or if I fight against those 3 guys inextricably, won't you wolves swarm up? Think I'll let you go? Don't be naive. When you make this wrong decision, it means you choose to open the gate of the underworld. Su Yang's words made the 10 people feel as if they had fallen into an ice cave, and their hair stood on end. Su Jianxian, you can't kill us, we are all pillars of Daxia. Someone panicked and said immediately. These people are indeed family forces in the capital. It's just that just after he finished speaking, a sword intent flew by in an instant, and his head moved. Pillar. Pillar is a hammer, but mobs are almost the same. Su Yang said disdainfully. The hearts of the other 9 people were about to jump out when they saw this. Facing Wu Sheng, they all have a chance to resist, but what's the situation now? Then Su Yang didn't even move his hands, and one person died on his side. Without waiting for the remaining 9 people to make any moves, another 9 sword intents appeared out of thin air, across the sky, instantly killing the 9 people. Su Yang flew over like a stroll in the courtyard, touched the corpses of 10 people, and put away the storage rings. He never played leapfrog battles, realm-crushing is the kingly way. Just like now, things that can be solved in a single thought, how troublesome are leapfrog battles. I don't know who these guys are. After killing so many Tiancheng, I should talk to Sha Zan and let him raid the house that should be ransacked and beat the one who should be beaten. Well, forget it, let's get in touch first. Su Yang took out the Tianshuan order. Your Majesty, some heaven-changing cultivators have been killed here, please send someone to deal with it. Close black lens bracket. Sha Zan who is in the palace is a little confused. What did Su Yang kill? Did that relaxed tone kill some chickens or change the world? Sha Zan was puzzled, but shocked. Sha Zan, okay, I'll send someone right away, Sword Immortal wait a moment. Close black lens bracket. After receiving Sha Zan's response, Su Yang also waited in place. At the same time, Ji Yushu and Yi Tianba also rushed towards Su Yang. When they saw a pile of corpses on the ground, Ji Yushu was fine, but was numb from the shock. Yi Tianba is different, he hasn't been numb yet, and now he is on the way to be numb. The corpses on the ground are not cats or dogs, they are all changes in the world. Yi family, Yi Hongfei, Wang family, Wang Qinli, Li family, Li Changqing, Linglong Pavilion, Zhuli. They are all famous and surnamed heaven-changing monks in the capital. It hasn't been a minute since they rushed over, right? Su Yong is counting the contents of the 10 storage rings. But it was too messy, and he was really upset watching it. There are too many spoils, it is really difficult to divide them. At this moment, Ji Yushu collected the belongings of Wang Chengfeng and Master Yinyu, and sent them to Su Yang. Sword Master, this is something from those two people. There is no storage ring on the other arm. Yeah. Su Yang's eyes lit up. You came at a good time, and you also took these 10 storage rings, divided the things in these storage rings, and grouped them together, mainly paying attention to the spiritual plant and the spiritual grass. Wait for the spirit. By the way, bring the bodies of those two guys over, someone will deal with them later. It's a good idea to let Ji Yushu take care of the trouble yourself. Okay. Ji Yushu nodded in response, and then started to act. This was the first time he saw something from a cultivator of the sky-changing realm being disliked. If a normal person kills a sky-changing monk, he will let others check the loot, then he must check carefully himself. But what Su Yang did was like saying, help me sort this pile of garbage. Is very strange. Several people waited quietly. Ji Yushu was busy arranging things. Su Yang was bored and had nothing to say, so he took out his saber and swung it. As for Yi Tianba, he is numb and speechless. After waiting for a while, a team of people arrived. Ma Guan, the commander of the Great Sha Forbidden Army, has seen the Great Sha Sword Immortal. After Ma Guan came here, he respectfully greeted him. Before falling down, Ma Guan had already seen these heads. 12 of them. Good guy, there is no one with lower status and strength than him, they are all first-class big shots in the capital. Now they are lying on the ground one by one, their heads have moved. Originally, he was still proud, thinking that he had the ability to change the world, so he didn't need to be more polite with Su Yang. Now, see you with your head down honestly. Well, the corpse is here, you can deal with it yourself, I'll go first. Seeing that someone finally came, Su Yang left directly. Congratulations to the Sword Immortal. Ma Guan said respectfully again. As for my heaven-changing cultivation base, I will not bow my head. Who said that? Certainly not what he said. On the road. Yi Tianba separated from Su Yang after returning to Lingshan Prefecture. He is from the state city. Now that the matter in Tianfeng County has been resolved, he will naturally not go back. Su Yang came up with Ji Yutong's idea. It's been so long, I don't know if Ji Yutong has returned to his lair. Soon, Su Yang locked the position of the tracking eye, and at the same time saw Ji Yutong's perspective with the help of the tracking eye. At this time, Gutong was flying at high speed in a mountain range. After flying for a while, he finally arrived at his destination and got into it. Inside, at a glance, they are all members of the cult. One by one with sins on their heads. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 86 The Lair of the Evil Sacred Religion. Ji Yutong turned into a puff of black smoke and returned to his residence. Take out a precious elixir and swallow it. This elixir entered his stomach, and Ji Yutong's injury quickly stabilized. Not only that, but his broken arm is growing rapidly. In just a few breaths, a brand new arm grew out. It is too white and tender, very asymmetrical with his other dark arm. Su Yang felt that it was necessary to help him correct it. What he saw was really obsessive-compulsive disorder. Let's go now, anyway, the lair is locked. But Su Yang was thinking about a question. Do you want to keep this guy for a while longer? As a high-level evil cultivator, he definitely disdains to kill one or two ordinary people. So does this guy know other evil cultivators, or no other evil cultivators, bases? Su Yang became interested for a while. If Ji Yutong knew other evil cultivators and their bases, would Ji Yutong choose to find other evil cultivators after he destroyed this evil holy religion? If he goes, then Su Yang can easily find the hiding places of other evil cultivators. Very good, try it and you will know. Old Ji Yu, wait for me here for a while, I'll be back later. Su Yang said something, and before Ji Yushu could answer, he turned into a rainbow light and left, disappearing in front of Ji Yushu in an instant. Good. Su Yang turned into a rainbow light and quickly flew towards Gutong's position. According to Ji Tong's current position, at Ji Shu's speed, it would take about 2 hours. For Su Yang, it is only 10 breaths. Over a boundless mountain range. A rainbow of sword intent stopped here. Su Yang's figure was revealed, covered by the sword intent. Su Yang easily found the evil cultivator hiding below. The total number is as high as 674 people. Everyone is a sinful person. The reason why an evil cultivator is because the path of cultivation will harm the same kind. Otherwise, I don't care what cultivation path you take, and I won't care if it doesn't cause any harm. Looking at the appearance here, it should be the headquarters of this evil religion. It is estimated that most of the evil cultists are here. As for some outsiders, we will deal with them when we encounter them later. But in order for Ji Tong to escape, he had to make some noise. Then you can't level this place with a single sword. Well, let's kill it. The entrance to the cult. 2 disciples of the cult stood guard at the door bored out of boredom. Suddenly, the closed stone gate entrance was not opened by the formation as usual. But boom! After an explosion, the shimon exploded to pieces in an instant. Sword intent swarmed in, and the 2 disciples guarding the gate were instantly killed before they could raise the alarm. Su Yang strolled in, looking around relaxed and comfortable as if he was coming home. It's not like entering the stronghold of evil cultivators alone. Su Yang made such a big commotion, so naturally the evil cultivators inside knew about it. Soon there will be evil cultivators. Who dares to come here to be presumptuous? The sound of people arriving first, but the voice is very loud. It's just that the moment they appeared and stepped into Su Yang's sword domain, they were not much different from the 2 evil cultivators who were guarding the gate. Was instantly torn apart by the sword intent in the sword field. Su Yang stepped into it step by step, and more evil cultivators appeared. At the same time, more and more evil cultivators died in his hands. Looking at these evil cultivators with crimes on their heads, Su Yang has no sympathy. The huge movement in the stronghold also awakened Ji Tong, who was recovering from his injuries. He couldn't help frowning. What are the people below doing? Just waited for him to step outside and see the situation outside. Immediately, the souls of the dead frightened. Countless sect disciples died tragically, walking alone in the courtyard amidst the mountain of corpses and sea of blood, walking slowly towards him. Su Yang. How did he get here? The image of Wang Chengfeng and Master Yinyu being instantly killed by a sword emerged in his mind. Ji Tong's legs softened, he turned and ran. Run what? I will eat you. Su Yang's words sounded like a life-threatening magic sound. Ji Tong turned into a cloud of black mist, and ran faster. He is fast. Su Yang is faster than him. A sword swung out, and flew towards Ji Tong with a swish. Ji Tong's escape technique is still good, and he managed to escape the fatal blow, only losing an arm. This was also intentional by Su Yang. If he escaped, he would not die, but the unbroken arm would be cut off. If you can't hide, forget it, it's of no use. Ji Tong turned into a black mist and ran fast, disappearing in no time. Although Su Yang can chase and kill the past and use Lu Guang, Ji Tong has no possibility of escaping at all. But this person is still useful to keep. Su Yang is not in a hurry to kill. If you want to find the evil cultivator, it is more convenient for the locals to lead the way. Ji Tong is gone. He will not be polite at this stronghold. Su Yang walked among them. The evil cultivator who stepped into his sword domain was instantly torn to pieces. Grand Master, Celestial Realm. None of them are exceptions. Seeing Su Yang so terrified, Uziaxiu couldn't help shouting. Quickly ask the leader. Please ask the leader to come forward, or we will die. These are the speeches of some evil cultivators whose situation is not yet clear. It's just some evil cultivators who watched the development of the situation but felt extremely desperate. Ask the leader. The leader ran away early. Within a cup of tea, Su Yang killed all the evil cultivators in this evil cultivator stronghold. Not one left. Done. Su Yang's tone is relaxed, which can be matched with the surrounding meat grinder-like scene, but it is as scary as it is. Open black lens bracket will of all beings plus 63,440 close black lens bracket. This evil holy sect is obviously a more advanced evil cultivation force than the blood refining sect. I don't know how long it has existed and how many people have been killed. More than 600 people, more than 60,000 sentient beings will. Among them, the main providers are those great masters and cultivators of the celestial realm. After the crime level exceeds 100, the value will be doubled by 10 times. Sin LV100, will of all beings plus 1000. Although this is very cool, Su Yang is also thinking about a question. After the sword intent exceeds LV100, will the number of sword swings required increase tenfold? Although he is still some distance away from LV100, it can be regarded as some situations after he has come into contact with LV100. It is not without reason to think about it. But instead of worrying about this kind of problem, it is better to improve your physique. As long as your physique is strong enough and your sword swing speed is fast enough, you don't need to worry about it at all. The Great Master Evil Cultivator provides the will of thousands of sentient beings. Evil cultivators in the celestial phenomena realm provide the will of all living beings with 5,000 or more. They have grown to this point, and they don't know how many people have been killed by relying on evil skills. The entire Great Shah has been established for more than 400 years. These evil cultivators at the level of great masters and celestial phenomena may have existed longer than Da Shah. The people who have been killed are even more impossible to count. Su Yang didn't think too much, what is certain is that these people deserve to die. After finishing all the evil cultivators, Su Yang began to clean the battlefield. He will not search one by one at this level. With a sweep of sword intent, all the strange-shaped things, storage rings, storage bags and the like in these people's pockets flew up. All packed and taken away. There were too many and it gave him a headache to see, so he left it to Ji Shu to sort out all of them. The things in the field are cleaned up. But the cult still has a treasure trove. The treasury is covered by a formation, and its defense is so strong that it takes a little time to open it even if it changes the sky. So Su Yang broke the big formation with one sword. After all, he is the most anti-sky changing environment, he is not a sky changing environment. After opening the treasure house, the aura inside rushed to the face. Walk in and take a look around, there are quite a lot of good things. Weapons, pills, exercises, secret skills, armor, special treasures, treasures of heaven and earth, spiritual objects. There are also a large number of spirit stones and blood spirit stones. All kinds of things are readily available. When Su Yang saw the thing in the middle, he said in surprise. Huh. Foundation Establishment High-Grade Spiritual Plant, Purple Moon Flower. Chapter 87 Seal of the Heavenly Tao. Su Yang has read a book of spiritual things before, and he has seen this thing in it. The classification of spiritual objects is based on the division of the realm of immortals. Building a top-grade spiritual plant is equivalent to a spiritual plant in the celestial realm. It's not bad, at least so far. This thing is the most high-quality spiritual plant Su Yang has ever seen. The key is to be alive. Purple Moon Flower absorbs the breath of the full moon and absorbs the aura of heaven and earth, which can improve the environment of a place, enough to turn an ordinary mountain into a mountain-carrying aura. Very nice stuff, keep it. Went to the capital for a trip, and it wasn't like he didn't do anything except receive the reward. In the process, he also learned about some systems of cultivating immortals. There are currently two known categories. One is called Orthodox Cultivating Immortals, and the other is called Tiandao Cultivating Immortals. Orthodox Immortal Cultivation. Not bound by the way of heaven, all the resources obtained are used to improve oneself. Those evil immortals can also be transformed into this category. They are called evil immortals, but they only cause damage to Great Shah and the world. But it can't change the fact that people are orthodox. Of course, whether you are orthodox or not, you will be struck by lightning if you destroy the world. Tiandao Cultivation. It is also the chapter of cultivating and feeding back. Choose a place to contract with Tiandao. In this way, you will get help from the same place, and you will also get help from Tiandao. You can practice faster, but generally the upper limit of growth is limited by Tiandao, and it has the meaning of a slave to Tiandao, was despised by the orthodox cultivators. Even if there are enough resources for orthodox cultivating immortals, they still need cultivation skills of each realm to continuously improve, and there are realm bottlenecks. Heavenly Tao and immortal cultivation can be easily promoted as long as they have not surpassed the current world's heavenly Tao, and there is no realm bottleneck. The only problem is that the upper limit of strength is restricted by the law of heaven. Immortal cultivators who take this path usually go to other worlds to plunder resources in the later stage to improve their own world. Only by making the Tao of Heaven stronger can they become stronger themselves. This defect has no effect on Su Yang. He is used to train his subordinates, not to practice by himself. Cultivated to immortality, his sword can still be raised to LV100. One sword transforms 10,000 dharmas, and his sword intent can naturally help him cultivate longevity. Su Yang opened the storage ring, and put away all the things here one by one. During this trip, Su Yang directly took over the home of the evil holy religion, and took away all the family property in his package. Whether it works or not, this feeling is very refreshing. After packing up all the things in the treasure house, Su Yang suddenly noticed a location. That is the deepest part of the treasure house. In a dark environment, if you don't look carefully, you can't see it clearly. After getting closer, I realized that like the core of a formation, there were chains of black ink engraved on a wall. Su Yang sensed it, this thing should be a sealing formation. There is something sealed inside. Could it be a hidden treasure? Su Yang's heart moved, and he looked forward to it. Although there is no way to break the seal cannot be broken, but for Su Yang, this requires a fart way to break it, and he can just go down with a sword. With a thought, the sword intent condensed in the void. Slashed towards the sealing formation. The originally mediocre formation shone brightly, trying to block this sword. The key is success. That's right, this formation blocked Su Yang's Yi Cheng's sword intent. This surprised Su Yang. Ji Yutong made this thing. Regarding this, Su Yang expressed doubts. With Ji Yutong's strength, it should be impossible to make this thing. Maybe there is something else hidden in it. It doesn't matter, if there is any hidden secret, you will know it after cutting it. Su Yang slashed his sword a little seriously. A complete sword intent is called random sword. 30% sword intent is called a slightly serious sword. Boom. A large amount of black energy gushed out from the sealing formation, confronting Su Yang's sword intent. Very well resisted for 3 seconds. Then he was blown up. Hey, let me see. After breaking the sealing formation, a white aura emerged inside. Originally, the white aura wanted to escape, but it stopped in front of Su Yang in the next second. At the same time, Su Yang's sword vibrated. Huh. What the hell? Another shard of heaven. Looking at the slightly familiar thing in front of him, Su Yang quickly recognized the origin. Heavenly Tao Fragment. Sword Immortal. Help me fusion. Su Yang blinked. Good guy, Tiandao is very sensible this day. There is nothing to say. Su Yang signaled that Tiandao can act. If you need help, just say it. Heavenly Tao doesn't need any help. It just needs Su Yang to guard a little bit, and can't be attacked when merging. The next second, a flash of light emerged from his saber. Then the two auras began to blend together. The blending time is neither fast nor slow. It takes about 10 minutes to complete. Heavenly Tao Fragment. Thank you Sword Immortal for your help. If Sword Immortal needs to contract the world, I can help you. Next, I still need to ask Sword Immortal to help me find more bodies. Close black lens bracket. Su Yang, are you able to communicate normally? Close black lens bracket. Heavenly Tao Fragment. Yes. Close black lens bracket. After being able to communicate normally, Su Yang immediately began to ask some things he wanted to know. For example, how the way of heaven was broken. For example, the contract world. For example, can Tiandao help him find someone? For example, where are the other fragments of the Tao of heaven? After some understanding, Su Yang also had a clearer understanding of the Tao of heaven. At the same time, I have a clearer understanding of the world. Although the consciousness of the way of heaven is the way of heaven, the world here is very weak, and it is not even a complete world, so it is not actually the way of heaven. The world here is a rudimentary world that is growing and growing towards a complete world. About 300 years ago, the Emperor Shanzong came. The first thing that comes is to obliterate the way of heaven. Small the way of heaven, seal it all over the world, spread the cultivation method of the destruction chapter, and want to completely destroy the way of heaven in this world. There is only one reason for doing this: the golden core in the Supreme Immortal sect is perfect, and wants to refine this world. With the help of the power of the prototype world, break through the nascent soul in one fell swoop. During the refining process, there should be no interference from the Tao of Heaven, otherwise the success will fall short. Hearing this, Su Yong thought to himself, the upper limit of the power of this immortal cultivation system is very high. Only nascent soul can harm a world. No, it's just that the golden elixir is complete. Although Su Yong didn't know the strength of Jindan Yuan, from his point of view, he definitely used some method. Or, is there a reason for the world level? Each world level is different, and the level of heaven is different. World rules, suppression, etc. are definitely different too. For example, in the prehistoric world, what kind of nascent soul realm died without knowing how it died? Or a world more powerful than the prehistoric world? From this point of view, his current strength is still very weak. In terms of contracting the world, Su Yong has a question: how many people can be contracted, and can everyone start cultivating immortals in the future? The answer of the consciousness of the Tao of Heaven is possible. However, the consciousness of the Tao of Heaven is not working now, even in its heyday, unless Su Yong finds a spiritual object that can improve the world level and raise the entire world level. The higher the level of the world, the more origins of the world, and the stronger the talent of the native creatures in that world. If the origin of the world is sufficient, Heavenly Tao can also directly help everyone shape their spiritual roots. The premise of everything is the world level. At present, this world can only be regarded as the prototype level. Although there are some prerequisites, Su Yong also wrote it down. This is an opportunity to change the world, let alone let everyone practice. But maybe he can do what he thought of before. Create a group of powerful law enforcers, a group of law enforcers who are not tempted by worldly things. With the current state of fragments of the Tao of Heaven, 10 people can be contracted to enjoy the blessings of heaven and earth, and walk the road of cultivating immortals in the Tao of Heaven. As for Tiandao looking for people, and the issue of Tiandao fragments. It is not very good at finding people, because the current heavenly Tao is actually still weak, only about 1% of what it was when it was complete. It is possible to find other fragments of heaven, but they are limited to the ones that have not been sealed. At the same time, there are certain restrictions on the distance. Like the piece that Su Yong found just now, it is sealed, and the current heavenly Tao fragments cannot be sensed. If you want the heavenly Tao fragment to find the sealed fragment, you need him to recover more than 50%. Back then, Taisheng Shanzong used special means to shatter the Tao of Heaven, and captured the largest fragment of Tao of Heaven, but many fragments of Tao of Heaven scattered away, hiding in the world, waiting for the opportunity to recover again. After understanding this, Su Yong noticed one thing. The heretical cult has the seal of heaven, so doesn't that mean that this cult also colluded with the supreme immortal sect? Or, just the dog of Taisheng Shanzong. Chapter 88 Annihilation of the Sword Formation. After sorting out most of the gains from the evil holy religion, Su Yong did not leave directly. Arranging an annihilating sword formation with his backhand, as a meeting gift for the cult disciples who went out, he left. Open black lens bracket sword of all beings annihilation sword formation close black lens bracket. Level. LV41. Function. Arranged in a fixed position, it is very calm when it is not stepped in. After stepping in, it will be instantly torn into pieces by the violent sword intent, and will not disappear until the remaining sword intent is exhausted. Since this is the stronghold of the evil holy religion, and there may be some evil cultivators who have been active outside and have not returned. Then Su Yong must have left them a surprise. After arranging these, Su Yong turned and left. Su Yong turned into a rainbow of sword intent and returned to Ji Yushu's side again. From Su Yong's departure to his return, it took no more than 20 minutes. Come on, Mr. Ji Yu, tidy up all the things in these storage equipment. Okay. Ji Yushu stared numbly at the dozens of storage equipment floating in front of him. Get used to it, don't be shocked in the future, and take everything you see for granted. After that, the two set off again, heading towards Tianfeng County. On the way, Su Yong was thinking about a problem. That is the matter of the contract world. Now that we can contract 10 people, we must use it. The contract world needs to choose a spiritual land. Isn't the Imperial Palace the best spiritual place? 10 places, 5 for Sha Zan, 1 for Ji Yushu and 1 for Zhang Xiaoyu. As for him, there is no need. Concentrating on improving your sword intent is the root of everything. At present, it is just the beginning, and his sword intent has the image of a sword transforming all kinds of magic. He has many ideas. When he wants to create various special sword moves, the answer given by the panel is never impossible. It's just that the level is not enough. The prompt on the panel is that after reaching LV100, you can create a low-grade sword spirit root. How to see it after reaching LV100? For example, create a special sword spirit root and give it to others. The sword spirit root can also be the thunder attribute sword spirit root or the like. I just don't know what special effect the sword spirit root will have, maybe it will increase the power of sword spells. But no matter what, the creation of the spiritual root also requires cultivation, and it is not a direct empowerment. It's like contracting heaven and earth. After contracting, you will practice step by step, but it will be faster. Leaving 3 places is also to see if there will be any changes later. But how to arrange it specifically, let's go and see what will happen after the contract. Regarding Zhang Xiaoyu's arrangement, Su Yang planned to bring him into the palace and let Sha Zan train him. After these things are determined, Su Yang curiously opened his tracking eyes and saw Ji Yutong's situation again. At this time, Ji Yutong was cursing and erasing the mark from his whole body. His grandma, why is this Su Yang so perverted? How the did you track me down? This time I will eliminate all traces, and I will see how you track them. Fortunately, I have enough escape skills, otherwise I will die. However, the task of Taishang Shanzong has failed. I hope Shangxian will not blame me. At this time, Ji Yutong's 2 arms are still alive, and the one that was cut off by Su Yang is still recovered. But both arms have become white and tender, just like a newborn baby. In this way, it is more symmetrical, and it is much more pleasing to the eye. But the exposed skin and face also looked pitch black, which made Su Yang suffer from OCD again. But it shouldn't be possible to live with another head, right? Su Yang thought helplessly, so he could only give up. Judging from what Ji Yutong said, this cult is really related to the Supreme Immortal sect. It was a good decision to keep Ji Yutong. I wonder if I can take him to some hidden places later. Daxia Palace. Sha Zan looked at the 12 corpses in front of him and remained silent. Although Su Yang has long known that Su Yang's strength is terrifying. Has surpassed Zhang Sheng. It is one thing to know, but another thing to have the facts before him. The 12 corpses of heaven-changing monks are the best proof. It's okay for Zhang Sheng to kill the sky-changing environment. In a group of sky-changing environments, it's okay to kill a few. But other weather-changing circumstances see that the situation is not good, and they will definitely run away. Then Zhang Sheng can't kill so many. Besides, Magwan, the commander of the Imperial Guards, also brought back information, and there were no traces of fighting at the scene. This shows one thing, Su Yang's strength surpasses the heavenly change realm by far too much. So many that they can be killed easily. Teacher, Su Jianxian really gave me a big surprise. In this way, as long as these corpses are sent back to these family forces, and one more condition is mentioned by the way, they shouldn't dare to object, right? Ha ha ha, these guys used to rely on their ancestors to sit in town, treat me like nothing, and act recklessly in the territory under their jurisdiction. This time, I want them to spit out all the gains from the oppression of the people, and even more so to hurt them. The Wang family, the evil cultivators who are linked together, should be wiped out. After seeing the good news in front of him, Sha Zan felt happier than ever. He is the emperor, he is the 9th 5-year king. But only in his position can he know his helplessness. Those top aristocratic families, Zongmen, have their own absolute force, and they are basically obedient to him. Not to be afraid of the laws of Great Sha. He is like a clown, ridiculed in this position. Even if Zhang Sheng was there, it didn't change much because Zhang Sheng was old and couldn't make too many shots. In this case, the great summer will end sooner or later. Now with the appearance of Su Yang, all this finally changed. He, Sha Zan, has learned the most, that is, to regard the people as the sky, and to love the people like a son, and he will act according to what he has learned. But in this world where the strong are respected, without enough strength, everything is a castle in the air. Now, this situation can finally be changed. Come on. From now on, the resources invested in the Junwu Division and the Inspection Division will each be doubled. At the same time, do a good job of investigation. I want to know who can be reused. I will live up to the sword immortal. Tianfeng County. Su Yong has returned here. After coming back, I immediately handed over the job matters to Han Chu. There is nothing to say, after all, he just took office not long ago. Before, he was still thinking about the chief inspector of Tianfeng County, but now he doesn't need it anymore. He has directly become the commander of the Junwu Division and the Inspection Division in the world. Even their original president was under his jurisdiction. After bringing Zhang Xiaoyu with him, Su Yong set off for Beijing, ready to finish the matter of contracting the world. According to the heaven and earth cultivation method, the higher the level of the selected spiritual land, the faster the cultivation speed will be. This kind of fast is not just fast with rich aura. If that's all, then there is no need for a contract world. The most important thing is that after contracting the world, you will get a special kind of help from the origin of the world. The higher the spiritual land, the more origins, and naturally the faster the cultivation speed. The three set off for Beijing. On the way, Su Yong was studying the 7 extra tasks on himself. As he obtained the status of a guardian angel, he also had 7 more top-level tasks. They are urgent and slow. In Su Yang's view, the most urgent thing is the food shortage in Qingzhou. Food is the most important thing for the people. Without food, what the people consider is not whether to squeeze it, but whether they can survive. He discussed this matter with Shah Zhan. Shah Zhan must be helping the disaster, and the food is also being sent to Qingzhou in a steady stream. But that doesn't solve the root problem. If the root cause is not resolved, Qingzhou will end sooner or later. One state is too large, and Qingzhou was originally a place rich in grain. The reason for the present is that there are too many evil spirits, and the land of Qingzhou has been destroyed badly. So what Su Yong has to do next is very simple. That is to lift the sword and kill the immortal. For this Fang Tiandi made a bright future. Chapter 89 Heaven and earth belong to heaven, and heaven belongs to me. Back and back, with the help of the time on the road, Su Yang's sword intent was upgraded to another level. Reach LV42. After returning to the capital, Su Yong also went directly to the palace. With his current status as a guardian angel, he can enter the palace at will. Soon he saw Shah Zhan, who was busy working on the 12 corpses of the heaven-changing realm. 12 heaven-changing environments represent 12 forces. Without the cover of the sky-changing environment, even if Zhang Sheng didn't take action, Shah Zhan could easily deal with them. I don't know why the sword fairy is looking for me. Shah Zhan asked. Your Majesty, take a look at this first. Su Yong took out the heaven and earth cultivation method and handed it to Shah Zhan. Shah Zhan took a look and understood, but he didn't understand what Su Yong meant. Sword immortal, this thing actually exists in the imperial palace, but in the absence of the Tao of heaven, you can only practice the destruction chapter. What if there is a way of heaven? Su Yong said with a smile. It can be clearly felt that Shah Zhan's breath fluctuates violently. Next, Su Yong didn't hold back much, and began to explain the purpose of his visit. After learning that Su Yong had made contact with Tiandao, Shah Zhan and Zhang Sheng were not only surprised, but even more pleasantly surprised. At the same time, they are also going to see how the cultivation method in this world is. Can quickly cultivate talents. According to the above contract method, with the help of Su Yong, Shah Zhan was the first to contract with the entire palace. Cultivators want to contract the world, but they can't do it casually. They need various conditions, and they even need to look at their own strength. The quality of the imperial palace is very high. Without Su Yang's help, even if there is a way of heaven in this world, Shah Zhan still needs to pay enough for the contract. The moment the contract was completed, Shah Zhan felt an unprecedented feeling. The entire palace is connected to him, and he can clearly perceive aura and a special power. Seeing that the contract had been completed, Su Yong asked, "How is it, Your Majesty?" Shah Zhan pondered for a while and said, "It's not bad. With the origin of the imperial palace, I can cast low-grade spiritual roots for me in about a month. I can collect the origin of the world, whether it is to speed up cultivation, or to help others. Anyone can cast spiritual roots. However, my own realm is also limited by the quality of the imperial palace spirit land. At present, in terms of the quality of the Imperial Palace Spirit Land, I can at most reach the early stage of Jindan. Is that so? Su Yong thought for a while, and he didn't seem to be very strong. Not only limited by the way of heaven, but first of all limited by the spiritual land of one's own contract. However, there are also merits. This method of cultivating immortals in the world is to improve oneself and the world at the same time. When the world becomes better, all people will benefit accordingly. At least it is better than the practice of destroying the people who suffer disasters. He suddenly thought of something. It seemed that he didn't need to contract the world, and his subordinates didn't need to do it either. Heaven and earth can help others improve their strength. Can be the current situation. The heaven and the earth are governed by the Tao of heaven, and the Tao of heaven is governed by him. After that, doesn't he just promote whoever he wants? Now all he needs to do is to restore the way of heaven. Thinking about it carefully, Su Yong thinks this idea is okay. Since the contract is completed, Sha Zan can promote anyone he wants, so there is no need to continue the contract. It is equivalent to Sha Zan can control the aura, the origin, that is born every day in this area. As for whether to use the power of this area to train his subordinates, that is Sha Zan's business. Su Yong is not worried about this at all. The limitation of the feedback chapter is that the upper limit of the strength that the contractor can achieve depends on the quality of the spiritual land. According to the detection of the consciousness of the Tao of Heaven, the quality of the Imperial Palace area is equivalent to the low-grade Golden Core level, so Sha Zan has cultivated to the early stage of the Golden Core realm at most. If you want to break through after reaching consummation, you must improve the quality of the contracted spiritual land. Suddenly, no matter how much spirit energy there is, the origin cannot improve Sha Zan's strength. At that stage, Sha Zan naturally has extra aura, which can be used to improve his subordinates. After clearly understanding the disadvantages of the heaven and earth cultivation method, Su Yong has completely given up on this thing in his heart. It is okay for his subordinates to practice, but it is completely unnecessary for him to practice. He still works hard. Let's raise his sword intent first. After helping Sha Zan to contract the world, Su Yong introduced Zhang Xiaoyu to Sha Zan. Sha Zan was naturally very concerned about the people Su Yong brought, and expressed that he would train them well. After finishing these tasks, Su Yong took Ji Yushu and left the palace. After leaving the palace, Su Yong originally planned to go directly to Qingzhou to solve the food shortage, but at this moment, Tiandao spoke out. Heavenly Tao Fragment. Sword Immortal, I have sensed some of my fragments, can you help me find them? Close black lens bracket. Su Yong. Wait, I will solve the food shortage first. Close black lens bracket. Repair the way of heaven. Hurry up with the hammer, the most important thing is to solve the food shortage first. Heavenly Tao Fragment. Sword Immortal, the few fragments I sensed can restore me to a 100% state. After Sword Immortal helps me, I can use my source to revitalize the whole place once again. Close black lens bracket. Su Yong. Open black lens bracket. Wait, I'll go right away. Close black lens bracket. Su Yong originally wanted to refuse, but he thought about it carefully. Even if Xiaxian is resolved, the entire Qingzhou is already facing a situation of severance of vitality. If it cannot be changed, the food shortage crisis will not be resolved in the future. So it is very important to revitalize Qingzhou. He just tried it in his head. If you want to revitalize a place with sword intent, you need to reach level 100, and then create a suitable sword move. That seems to touch the power of law, just like he wants to increase his lifespan. So after thinking about it, it is better to save heaven first. Not long after he walked out of the palace, Ji Yushu, who had been busy arranging the spoils, said, Sword Master, I found a foundation-level airship in the process of sorting out the spoils. It is faster than I can fly. The most important thing is that it allows the Sword Master to swing the sword comfortably. Oh, that's nice. It's just that some low-grade spirit stones are needed. Low-grade spirit stones. How many of them do we have? Lingxi, something precious to other cultivators, Su Yong has never looked at it, let alone counted it. Returning to the Sword Master, there are a total of 98,372 pieces. The consumption of the airship is about 1 piece per hour. The consumption is so low. Then use it directly. Su Yong doesn't care about Dao. Clear. Ji Yushu is used to it. A pure low-grade spirit stone can allow a Grand Master to practice for 10 days, and a cultivator who has just entered the foundation can also practice for 1 day. It is a very precious resource. But that's for others, too. It wasn't long after Su Yang was with him, less than a month, but Ji Yushu felt that his vision was wider than ever. Except for Su Yang, no one can shock him anymore. Old Ji Yu, do you want to make a contract with the world? Su Yang looked at Ji Yushu. If you want, I can help you make a contract. After all, you have been with me for so long. It all depends on the arrangement of the sword master. Ji Yushu replied. Haha, okay, then don't worry, the contract world is not very good. Heavenly Dao fragment. Can you speak behind my back? Close black lens bracket. Leave the capital. Ji Yushu took out a flying boat model from the storage bag. It was only the size of a palm. It looked similar to an ancient fishing boat, but it was more delicate than a fishing boat. However, after activating the formation above, the flying boat soared into the air, kept getting bigger, and finally suspended in midair. According to the size of this flying boat, it is no problem to take 10 people. Following the guidance of the consciousness of the Tao of Heaven, the flying boat began to move forward. The speed is indeed very fast, at least 3 times faster than Ji Yushu. Su Yang can concentrate on swinging his sword on the flying boat, which is very comfortable. The consciousness of heaven detected a total of 3 fragments wandering outside. Su Yang asked about the consciousness of other heavenly Dao fragments. The other fragments only have a little consciousness, because he wakes up first, so he dominates. The reason for waking up is also related to Su Yang. Because Su Yang used the power of the thunder attribute to cover the pieces of heaven together and attack. The power of the thunder attribute is the strongest means of the way of heaven, so it is also inadvertently awakening the consciousness of the way of heaven. The flying boat soared in the sky, skimmed the earth, and soon left the area of Tianfeng County and came to the sky above a small mountain. According to the consciousness of the Tao of Heaven, one of the fragments is below. Chapter 90. I will not force others to be difficult. The spaceship hovers in midair. Su Yang walked through the air, approaching the bottom step by step. Guided by the consciousness of the Tao of Heaven, Su Yang entered the deep mountain and easily found the fragments of the Tao of Heaven. But it is possessed by a spirit beast. Spiritual beasts. Breathe out the essence of the sun and the moon, turn the energy of the void into spirits, have no killing nature, love peace, and bring auspiciousness. Only then can they be spiritual beasts, which can be placed in the spiritual land to increase the quality of the spiritual land. The difference between monsters and beasts is that they can kill, not referring to killing people, but referring to all living beings. Spirit beasts will not harm any living beings. Thundermark deer. With just one glance, Su Yang recognized the origin of this spirit beast. The features are too obvious and easy to identify. There are thunder patterns on the body, and the 2 antlers are blue, which can attack. Don't think that spirit beasts have no attack ability. When you take the initiative to hunt and kill spirit beasts, you will know if there are any. This thunder deer instinctively wanted to run when he saw Su Yang. However, under Su Yang's nuclear smile, he still made the right choice and stayed where he was. Come over. Su Yang spoke softly, very gentle. It would have been better if the sword intent hadn't pressed on Lei Wenlu. Lei Wenlu walked up to Su Yang, lowered his head to express his obedience. Su Yang stretched out his hand and touched the deer's head. It felt very silky. This skin is really good. What are you shaking? I'm praising you. Su Yang keeps petting. No wonder some people like to pet cats and dogs. This feeling is really okay, but I don't know that their hand feel is different from mine. A spiritual light emerged from Lei Wenlu's body and entered Su Yang's saber. This purpose has been completed. But this Lei Wenlu Su Yang is the more he likes it. How about following me? Lei Wenlu felt the terrifying sword intent covering his whole body, and then looked at the smiling Su Yang. The deer's head swayed up and down. That's right, as long as you want to, I won't make things difficult for others. Su Yang turned around and returned to the flying boat. That's right, he won't force others, this Thunderween deer is not human. Ji Yushu waited on the flying boat. When Su Yang came back, there was an extra spirit deer beside him. It's just that the strength seems to be stronger than him. Forget it, it's a normal thing. Everything is abnormal, but when it comes to Su Yang, everything seems normal again. Sword Master, where are you going next? Go to the left, and I will tell you when we arrive. Su Yong asked about the way of heaven, and then made a decision. After touching the thundermark deer twice more, Su Yong began to swing his sword. No matter what happens, no matter what he does, sword intent is his foundation. As his level increases, the level of sword moves increases, and the effect of body tempering Gangfeng also increases. It used to take half a month for him to reach the 6th rank, but now, it takes about 3 days to reach the 6th rank of foreign refinement. The flying boat shuttled in the sky, skimmed layers of white clouds, and soared above the blue sky. It took about 20 minutes to arrive at the destination again. This time, it stopped above a huge lake. Su Yong appeared above the lake. According to the heavenly Tao consciousness, there is a piece of debris in the body of the fish demon below, and the fish demon is unwilling to return it. When the heavenly Tao consciousness pulls it, it is rejected, which leads to the failure of the traction. It can only kill the fish demon first and then take the heavenly Tao fragment. The heavenly Tao fragment in Lei Wenlu's body appeared automatically, that's because Lei Wenlu didn't resist. With the current weak nature, forcibly pulling will damage the source, so Su Yong can only do it. Heaven awareness will provide an approximate location. In the lake. I can't swim, let alone dive. There's no way, that's the only way to go. Su Yong shook his head, and then came to the lake at the location provided by the consciousness of heaven. Immediately afterwards, Su Yong took a step down, and the lake water separated automatically. Su Yong walked towards the water step by step. The entire lake is divided into two, and the underwater world is unobstructed. Su Yong walked in it, flanked by waterfalls separated by lake water. At the very front, there is a sawtooth fish demon in the celestial realm. His body suspended in midair was shaking very frequently. Be good, don't shake, don't blame anyone for the path you choose. Su Yong touched the opponent's head. A flash of spiritual light emerged from the head of the jagged fish demon and flew into Su Yang's saber. Heaven fragments, and then merged together. Su Yong lifted the body of the fish demon again. Not bad, at least 300 catties. Backing back to the flying boat, Lei Wenlu watched Su Yong throw a fish monster that was about the same level as himself to Ji Yu Shu. Hiss. The fish demon seems to be dead. Old Ji Yu, deal with it, can you cook fish head soup? This sword master, I can't. Ji Yu Shu put the fish demon into the storage ring, but was a little dumbfounded. Tianxiangjing fish head soup. Untested. Is this so? That's a pity. I'll try it later when I find someone who can meet me. The airship then moved in the next direction, which was also the last one. Su Yong returned to the interior of the flying boat and waved to Lei Wenlu. Thunderween deer came over obediently. Su Yong rubbed Lei Wenlu's head. Not bad, really obedient. Su Yong continued to swing his sword in satisfaction. Thundermark deer exhaled 2 puffs of white breath from his nose, walked to the side and lay down on his stomach. The last location is not too far from here. After about half an hour, the spaceship arrived at the position where the consciousness of heaven arrived again. This time it was still in a deep mountain. Following the guidance of the consciousness of the Tao of heaven, Su Yong found the specific location. That's a cave. Under the cover of emotion, there is a person inside, with 2 levels above his head. Realm, LV15. Sin, LV4. People, evil cultivators. With a little curiosity, Su Yong walked into it. The existence inside made Su Yong feel a little familiar. Zombie. Zhao Shi. After taking a closer look at the other party, even though there were some changes in his face, Su Yong recognized the origin of the other party. Isn't this the village chief who was rescued in Bayan village? How did you get on the path of zombies now? Recalling carefully that those zombie corpses were all burned, there shouldn't be any mutations. Zhao Shi, who was originally asleep, opened his eyes when he felt the breath of a living person. Master Su, Zhao Shi's voice was hoarse, and a chill came out of his mouth. Can you tell me what happened after I left? Su Yong asked calmly. What happened? Zhao Shi smiled and said, as you can see, I have gained the power to live forever. Just paid a small price. Master Su, if you leave now, I can pretend that I have never seen you. Zhao Shi restrained his smile and gave a kind reminder that he was extremely confident in his current strength, which was a strength he had never had before. Although I don't know what happened, but obviously, you are on the wrong path. Su Yong shook his head, turned and left. Behind him, the vast sword Intent enveloped Zhao Shi, and Zhao Shi, who was still smiling proudly, was instantly wiped out, not even a scum left. In this way, there can't be any accidents, right? Open black lens bracket will of all beings plus 4 close black lens bracket. The last fragment sensed by the consciousness of the Tao of Heaven emerged and penetrated into Su Yang's saber. So far, the state of heaven has recovered to 10%. Next, it's time to solve the food shortage in Qingzhou. Although he did a lot of things along the way, it only took Su Yang less than an hour to go back and forth. Open black lens bracket mission. Food shortage in Qingzhou close black lens bracket. Level. LV37. Requirement. Solve the food and drought problems of the people in a state. Reward. 3,700 approximately 37,000 will of all beings. Su Yang has observed the increase in mission rewards. There is not much rule, but Su Yang has a lot of tasks in his hands at present, so I also summed it up. Within level 10, single digits, within level 20, reward within 100, within level 30, reward within 5,000, within level 40, reward within 50,000. The task with the highest level of 100, the reward is 500,000 sentient beings, so the reward for tasks within level 100 is within 500,000 sentient wills. Regarding the food shortage in Qingzhou, Su Yang and Sha Zan had a chat. Some food was sent there, but it was actually cut off by the overlord of Qingzhou, the Bai family. From the officials of the Qingzhou prefecture city to the officials of the Qingzhou county city, there are people from the Bai family, and many of the grain shipped are also filled into private pockets. The common people drink porridge at most, and they will not die of hunger. Su Yang has passed, but there is a Sifang envoy named Shen Yunfei in the Qingzhou inspection department. He can be trusted, and he can be counted as Sha Xuanan's secret agent. Chapter 91 Sha Zan's hands-on. Capital. While Su Yang was on his way to Qingzhou, Sha Zan also made his own move. Under Sha Zan's order, the imperial guards walked out of the deep palace with corpses one after another, sent to the family to which these corpses belonged. At the same time, Magwan, the commander of the imperial guards, will bring different words to each family. As for what to bring, it depends on what wrong things those families have done. Yejia. Your Majesty said that the matter in Taohua County is over. Ma Guan put down the body, and left without the Yi family knowing what happened. The head of the Yi family knew what they were doing in Taohua County. But what does the other party mean? He stepped forward to open the white cloth, and when he saw the corpse inside, he slumped on the ground. The Yi family is over. His Yi family has reached this point, and he has offended many people. Now that the ancestor died tragically, if their opponents knew the news, how could they let them go? Wang family. When he came here, Magwan was not so polite with the other party. Tens of thousands of imperial troops came here in neat steps. The armor collided, making the sound of gold and iron. Surround this place. Not a single mosquito can fly out today. Magwan waved his hand and ordered. Yes. Tens of thousands of forbidden troops of rank 3 and above rushed out and quickly surrounded the entire palace. The existence of the astronomical phenomenon in the palace sensed that something was wrong, and rushed out immediately. What does Commander Ma mean by this? Wang Yui came out with the power of the celestial phenomena realm, and stood in front of everyone. What do you mean? Ma Guan sneered and said, the Wang family colluded with a cult and slaughtered thousands of people. The crime should be punished. After the last word fell, Ma Guan stabbed out with a spear, carrying the spear Intent of the wind, straight to Wang Yui's face. Wang Yui, but how can the heavenly phenomenon realm resist the power of Magwan Tianchong realm? With just one move, even though Wang Yui made a block, he was still shot flying, hitting the ground and creating a deep hole. Do it, people in the palace, don't miss a single one. Dare. You are not afraid that my ancestor of the Wang family will be held accountable. Wang Yui vomited blood and flew out of the deep pit. He had to stop it, otherwise the Wang family would really be wiped out. Today, the ancestor went out not long ago and was not in the clan. No one can stop the Janissaries. Old ancestor. Let's see if this is your ancestor. Magwan clapped his hands and asked someone to carry out a corpse. Lifting the white cloth, Wang Qinli's body was exposed to the air. Wang Yui staggered, as if waking up from a dream. Assault and kill Daxia sword immortal. You should be punished, and the Wang family should be punished. Kill. The word Magwan fell, and the Forbidden Army did not hesitate for a moment, surrounded the Wang family, and entered it. Wang Yui also became disabled under several shots from Magwan. Less than an hour. The royal family in the capital, destroyed. Magwan was not the only one on the move, there were other imperial guards carrying the corpses and sending them home. In less than a day, the atmosphere in the entire capital fell into a strange state. Quiet and weird. In one day, what happened was like a dream, making all the top families and top forces lose their voices. There is no doubt about the authenticity of the matter. The body is there. They already knew the cause of the incident. They even almost did this thing. Before, they thought they knew the news too late, and they couldn't even drink the soup. Now they can only rejoice, fortunately they are one step too late. Linglong Pavilion, Beibao Tower, Tianji Gate, Wuyuan Valley, Xuanbing Cave. These top forces who got to know the news a little later are all relieved now. The regrets before have all turned into joy. But, is that all? Some existences are destined not to give up easily, and the heavenly change realm of death is at most a late stage. In this case, it will attract the attention of some old monsters who have lived for hundreds of years. Pure strength is not enough, there are formations, and various secret methods. They are dying, even if they are not killed by Su Yang, they will not live for long. If the royal family has a stable way to break through the martial arts, they dare to break into the palace. Not to mention Su Yang alone. Only by breaking through the martial saints can they continue to live. King's mansion. King Jing trembled when he heard the news that shook the entire capital. Before, he was still thinking about how to handle Su Yang. Now he just wants to slap himself twice. On the way to Qingzhou, Su Yang felt the will of all beings beating constantly. He didn't do any major things, presumably it may be the follow-up effect of killing the 12 heavenly transformations before. It seems that Sha Zhan made the move. It's not bad, it didn't disappoint him. The flying boat kept moving forward, and Ji Yushu sat in front of the flying boat, driving like a groom. Inside the flying boat, Su Yang swung his sword, and Lei Wenlu lay still. About 3 hours passed. The flying boat departed from Lingshan Prefecture, crossed 3 continents one after another, and finally arrived in Qingzhou. Just stepped into the boundary of Qingzhou, Su Yang felt a dry breath in the flying boat. Under such extreme dryness, what hides is destruction. After entering the boundary of Qingzhou, the speed of the flying boat was a little slower. Su Yang observed the situation below from the flying boat. Where the flying boat passed, the earth was dry and cracked, and life was cut off. At this time, the bottom looks like a continuous mountain range. But these tens of thousands of miles of mountains, not even a little green. Only some dead trees fell on the bare mountains. Even if the sword intent sensed it, it didn't perceive any living things. There is a dead silence, only the bones of countless animals are telling what it used to be like here. This apocalyptic scene was vividly displayed in front of Su Yang. In such a world where supernatural power is respected, it is so easy to destroy a place. Is much simpler than an ordinary world. In Su Yang's view, even if all the most powerful weapons in the previous life exploded, it would not have any devastating impact on the planet. But the cultivators of this world can. Flying all the way, soon some villages appeared in sight. Empty village, no one. Continuing to move forward, after stepping into the scope of human activities, Su Yang saw more people under the disaster. It was no different from those starving animals, and human bones began to appear along the way. There are not many of them, but they all die of starvation. Continue to move forward, to a larger county town. Here, I finally saw a living person. In the city, there are officers and soldiers distributing food for the people to receive, but it can also make the people here have a way of life. It's just this porridge, which is too watery, and there is only a little boiled rice at the bottom of the bowl. Barely hanging on to the people. Basically no water source can be seen along the way. Su Yang observed in this county. The water source in the county city was obtained after some martial arts experts opened up the dark river deep underground. It's very deep, it's not feasible for non-grand masters. Fortunately, there is a water source, otherwise, even if there is food, the people in a state will not live long. Su Yang had a conversation with Sha Zhan, and knew that the food released by the court would not be so little. Not to say that the people of Qingzhou are full, but it must be normal porridge. Unless Shah Zhan lied to him. But Shah Zhan wouldn't, and didn't dare. What you see below makes people feel unjust and angry, but Su Yong doesn't stop there. What he needs to do is to solve the source, and what he wants to save is not just a county. The flying boat speeded up a little quietly, and flew towards the city of Zhou. Su Yong did not hide the traces of his arrival, and asked Ji Yushu to drive the flying boat directly over the city of Qingzhou. When the flying boat appeared, a powerful existence in Zhoucheng shouted, "Which fellow Taoist is so ignorant of the rules?" A figure in a gray robe appeared in midair. This person was Zhu Shuwu, the commander of Qingzhou town Wuxi. The flying boat was put away by Ji Yushu, and at the same time a token flew in front of Zhu Shuwu and suspended. Open black lens bracket supervisor angel close black lens bracket. After seeing the writing on it clearly, Zhu Shuwu was startled, cupped his fists and saluted, "Your Majesty, Zhu Shuwu, commander of the military department of Qingzhou town, pays homage to the guardian angel." Zhu Shuwu's voice was not loud, but it resounded throughout the city. For a moment, the people of the whole city, and personnel from various forces, all looked at the sky. A guardian angel. What is this position and why haven't they heard of it? But to make Zhu Shuwu, the commander of Junwu Division, respectful, he must be a big shot. Compared to everyone, the existence directly under the imperial court knows more. The imperial court still has the means of quickly delivering news. The court meeting is over, and all the officials at the county level know about the great Shah Sword Immortal, and they all know about the guardian angel, let alone the state city. Well, go to the inspection department. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 92 Let them taste the suffering of the common people. Qingzhou Zhoucheng. Inspection Department Lobby. Su Yong unceremoniously sat on the main seat, and below him was Junwu Si, a member of the inspection department. The commander of the Junwu Division, the commander of the army, the commander of the inspection department, and the quartet envoy. A total of 20 people stood there one by one, not daring to say a word. Su Yong sat in the main seat with a blank face. When he glanced at them, it made them very uncomfortable. But they know the current situation in Qingzhou, and they dare not say more. To put it simply, in the situation in Qingzhou, the people above did not dare to speak loudly. It's too bad, too bad. They have no face to speak. The purpose of my coming here is very simple, to solve the food shortage and kill all the evil spirits. In the quiet hall, Su Yong spoke first. It was just this opening, and everyone's expressions became very strange. This purpose is very simple. First of all, I would like to know the whereabouts of the official rations brought in by the imperial court. Who is embezzling and tampering with it? Everyone writes a list for me. Su Yong did this to deceive others. There is a spy planted by Shah Xuanan in the field, but he can't let him come out to talk directly. Doing so will naturally not reveal the identity of the other party. At the same time, the things written by other people can be used as a reference, the key point is only to read what Shen Yunfei wrote. The Bai family is the main criminal, but there must be some accomplices among them. For those people who make their fortunes from disaster relief food, Su Yong wants to do just a little. Kill them all. Otherwise, I'm sorry for those hungry and skinny people. I am even more sorry for those people who starved to death. Under Su Yang's order, the 20 people present also started writing according to Su Yang's intention. Soon a list was handed over to Su Yong. After a quick look, Su Yong glanced around, and finally landed on a quartet envoy. Bai Moji, you belong to the Bai family, right? My lord, yes. Although Bai Moji felt a little bad, he didn't take it too seriously. Great Shah Sword Immortal. Isn't it just the changing environment? The ancestors of his family are also in a changing environment. Poof. Bai Moji just finished answering when he suddenly felt a sharp pain all over his body. He lowered his head in disbelief. His dantian was abolished. Cultivation was abolished. The sudden scene shocked everyone present, and at the same time, a surge of joy rose in their hearts. Here you go. However, some people's heart beat violently and began to worry. What is this for? Ask for guilt. Zhu Shuwu, from now on, all the captured people will let them experience the life of ordinary people outside. I will abolish their cultivation, all you need to do is give them gruel, the kind of gruel that ordinary people drink. 1 bowl for 3 days, until you starve to death. Do you understand? Zhu Shuwu trembled, so ruthless. Since ancient times, people who cut off their heads have always eaten their fill. This is to starve people to death. But thinking about the current situation in Qingzhou, Zhu Shuwu felt relieved. These guys deserve what they deserve, let them eat enough to go on the road, how can they be worthy of the starving people in Qingzhou? The lower official understands. Zhu Shuwu spoke respectfully. No, you can't do that. Bai Moji wanted to say something else. But his mouth was sealed by the sword intent. Who is Lu Chongji? As soon as Su Yong opened his mouth, the legs of one person in the field became weak. But everyone's eyes were already on him. He knew that someone betrayed him, and what he did with the Bai family was leaked. Even if you are reluctant, you can only stand up. My lord, I am. As soon as he finished speaking, he ended up in the same fate as Bai Moji. The sword intent entered the body, and the dantian was shattered. Well, take these two down and treat them well. You must have a bowl of gruel for 3 days, so as not to die too soon. Yes. The remaining 18 people in the arena were silent, not daring to say more. Su Yang's resolute method made them tremble with fear, for fear of being accidentally injured. Fortunately, Su Yang did not call the names again. It feels like Lord Yan is calling names, can they not be afraid? Bai Moji and Lu Chongji were detained. The soldiers who came in didn't know what happened. But he also knew that something was wrong, so he honestly took Bai Moji and Lu Chongji away. Zhu Shuwu, Peng Li, mobilize all the members of the Junwu Division and the Inspection Division. This time, they mobilized the participants of the Disaster Relief Food. Let me arrest all of them. Peng Li is the leader of the Qingzhou Inspection Department, with astronomical cultivation. I will take care of the Bai family. I will help you solve the changes in the sky and the sky. You will be responsible for the 13 counties of Qingzhou. Any questions? Please rest assured, my lord, we will do our best. Very good, remember, I want all the people involved in this incident to be arrested and brought to justice, and I can't let them die too easily. I will understand. After Su Yong made arrangements for this, he immediately planned to go to Bai's house. This trip, Zhu Shuwu will lead the team with him. Just like that, a big move that shook Qingzhou was settled within a few words by Su Yong. There are no complicated procedures, and there is no need for this approval or that approval. Su Yong is very clear about the purpose of the Bai family to cut off the food of the Hu people. The way of cultivation in Destruction chapter is to absorb vitality. Food also contains vitality, and it contains the special energy needed for the Destruction chapter. So the main reason why the food was cut off was that it was taken by the Bai family to practice. In their eyes, it has nothing to do with the starvation of tens of thousands of people in Qingzhou. Not even they can see it. The entire Qingzhou is about to die, but the Bai family can still enjoy wine pools and meat forests. How can they see the suffering of the people? At this time, Su Yong has brought his troops to the gate of Bai's house. Shangqin town Wuxi soldiers are right behind him. Such a scene, the two guards at the gate of Bai's house have never experienced it before, and they panicked for a while. What is the meaning of this, Lord Wuxi? One of the guards finally had the courage to ask. Zhu Shuwu didn't talk nonsense, since Su Yong was standing up, and since it was His Majesty's intention, he was still afraid of the Bai family's ass. Take it. Following an order, the two guards were easily subdued. Then the soldiers quickly surrounded the entire Beifu like a tide. The military pawns lead the way and walk into the White House first. Su Yong walked along among them. The huge movement naturally alarmed the Bai family inside. Soon the head of the Bai family, Bai Haiyan, came out with a large team. Zhu Shuwu, what do you mean? Bai Haiyan asked Zhu Shuwu bluntly with a stern face. Before Zhu Shuwu could answer, a sword intent pierced through the air, instantly blasting Bai Haiyan's dantian. Bai Haiyan didn't even have a chance to hide, so he fell to the ground, unable to speak. The disciples of the Bai family around did not know what happened. Zhu Shuwu looked back at the calm Su Yong, and couldn't help but gasped. So strong. This is not a changing environment at all, is it? Zhu Shuwu was already a thin line away from the heavenly transformation realm, so he didn't think that the gap between himself and the heavenly transformation realm would be so large. This sword, not to mention Bai Haiyan, even he himself couldn't stop it. Is the news passed down by His Majesty wrong? Zhu Shuwu was full of doubts. But the movements of the hands will not be slow. Take them all. Children of the Bai family, all Dantians will be abolished. The servants of the Bai family will be detained and inspected first, and those who resist will be guilty of the same crime. Su Yong waited quietly on the spot. These small characters naturally don't need him to take action. All he needs is to solve the changes in the sky, which is also the importance of having subordinates. If he does these things alone, it will be very troublesome and it will take a long time. Later, the Tao of Heaven was restored, so it is time to consider getting some powerful subordinates. Su Yong thought to himself. Chapter 93 Qingzhou Shanmeng. Qingzhou, State City. Baijia. Just as the soldiers of the Junwu division were arresting the entire Bai family, wisps of blue gas flew out from the depths of the Bai family. This is the water attribute spell of the immortal cultivator. As soon as the blue aura swirled in front of everyone, it turned into 3 late-stage foundation establishment monks wearing blue robes. Level: LV26, LV26, LV27. The 3 of them are undoubtedly members of the Bai family. Zhu Shuwu, are you Junwusi crazy? Zhu Shuwu's identity is known to anyone with a little strength in Qingzhou. As the senior officials of the Bai family, they naturally know it. Bai Junyi frowned, extremely displeased with what happened at this time. Unfortunately, Zhu Shuwu had no intention of talking to them at all. Before he came, Su Yong had already told him that he didn't need to worry about any strength matters, he only needed to be responsible for arresting people. Catch everything that needs to be caught. Before the 3 of them got angry, the 3 sword intents condensed out of thin air, piercing through their Dantians in an instant. Immortal cultivators still need their Dantian to store mana. With Su Yang's current strength, against mobs of LV26 and LV27, anyone can draw A in seconds. The Dantian was exploded, and the 3 fell directly from midair. They fell to the ground in embarrassment, and one of them was still on the ground. How pretentious the appearance was, how miserable it is now. What kind of fairy air is fluttering, what kind of fairy way is ethereal? If you are not strong enough, you have to kneel. As the 3 of them fell from midair, 3 soldiers of the Junwu division stepped forward and held the 3 of them down. Unceremoniously press and leave. The 3 little soldiers are in a good mood, flying in the sky, at least they are masters. Normally they would have no chance to take action against such a person. Now that the Dantians of these 3 people have been broken and their strength is gone, isn't that just up to them? Bai Junyi and the 3 of them were all in a daze. But being so insulted by the 3 soldiers as if they were prisoners, he was furious on the spot. You are looking for death. The soldiers who were escorting the 3 of them stopped. He has long been unhappy with the members of the Bai family. Mata, those people can't get enough to eat every day, and the food shipped from other states is cut off by the Bai family. Because of the strength of the Bai family, they couldn't control it if they wanted to. Even their boss Zhu Shuwu can't control them. You know, no one has many relatives, not to mention that in this era, many of them are clans and family models. The food shortage in Qingzhou affects too many people, even if they work in Junwu division, they will still be affected. Yu Hefeng's face flashed fiercely. Anyway, this kind of guy is going to be a starving ghost in the future. How can he bear this anger? He slapped Bai Junyi on the face on the spot. Looking for death. I don't know if I'm looking for death or not, but you're going to die next time. After slapping him, Yu Hefeng followed the opponent and left. If you dare to struggle, you will be served with an iron fist. It can be said that he has gained power from a villain, but it doesn't matter. Why should he be polite to this kind of guy who treats people's lives like nothing? With the arrest of 3 people, the action of Junwusi soldiers continues. With Zhu Shuwu leading the team, everything went smoothly. Su Yong also strolled in the courtyard, with a thunder-marked deer at his side and Ji Yushu behind. With this appearance, it looks like a child from the fairy family is playing in the world. There are constant flames all over my body, and I am calm and composed in the center of the storm. My clothes are not stained with dust, and I let the screams of killing shake the sky without disturbing me at all. Walking into the depths of Bai's house step by step, anyone who walks in the air will fall down on the spot when he sees it, hitting the ground straight like an electric shock. In fact, it was Su Yong who used his sword intent to break the Dantian in a single thought. The senior members of the Bai family who fell to the ground will be escorted away by the soldiers in an instant. Under such chaos, the ancestor of the Bai family who was hiding in the depths of the Bai family also appeared in front of him in a single thought. There was another person who appeared with him, who seemed to have some special identity. Level LV29, LV29. LV30 is the limit of the sky-changing realm. Breaking through LV31 is a martial saint, or the early stage of Jindan. Now the strength of these two people is considered powerful in the sky-changing environment. Bai Daochuan, it seems that your Bai family is very lively today. I'm thinking about joining the Qingzhou Shanmeng, so I'll leave first. Ji Xing looked at the chaotic scene with a smile. He is not too big on this kind of spectatorship. Ji Daoyu, wait a moment, this matter will be resolved soon. At this moment, Bai Daochuan's face was dark, wondering how Zhen Wuxi dared to do it. In fact, the matter was resolved quickly. Because in the next second, the end of the two of them is no different from the high-level Bai family who appeared in front of them. The Dantian was instantly blown up by Su Yang, and the mana disappeared in an instant, returning to heaven and earth. The two also fell from midair and landed on the bluestone bricks of the Bai family, making two bangs. Bai Daochuan was dumbfounded. Ji Xing was also dumbfounded. Even if they fell from the sky and hit the ground, causing them to experience huge pain in their bodies, they still felt very dreamy. Their Dantian is broken. Feeling the passing of mana in their bodies, they had to accept this fact. But how did they accept this? No. Ji Xing roared, looking at Su Yang like a madman. I am the elder of Qingzhou Shanmeng. If you dare to break my Dantian, you will die. Qingzhou Shanmeng. Can you tell me where the Qingzhou Shanmeng is? Su Yang was keenly aware of the clues. It seems that this person is not from the Bai family. But this so-called Qingzhou Immortal League, at first glance, looks like an evil immortal. Now Qingzhou looks like a bird, what is it if it is not an evil spirit? Ji Xing frowned, the people in front of him didn't seem to be afraid, but he didn't know that Jindan realm monks would appear in my immortal alliance soon, and they were backed by the supreme immortal sect. No matter who the person in front of him is, he is finished. Ha ha ha, where is it? Do you still want to kill him? Just wait, someone will come to you. Ji Xing didn't say much, no matter what Su Yang was planning, of course he couldn't reveal the position of Qingzhou Shanmeng. The broken Dantian is not impossible to repair, he still has a chance. But if you betray Qingzhou Shanmeng, you will have no chance. Seeing that the other party did not speak, Su Yang also lost interest. Anyway, he is also an evil spirit, so it is not considered an accidental injury. Waved his hand to let the soldiers take him down. Sin. This kind of immortal cultivator who has just embarked on the journey of immortality is not considered immortal. Will starve to death. Isn't it high above, overlooking the world? Don't you regard human life as worthless? He wanted to see if the cultivators would starve to death, and if the evil immortals would starve to death. The Bai family's high-end combat power was taken over by Su Yang. In this case, if Zhen Wuxi still can't take down the Bai family, then it is really too wasteful. Fortunately, Zhen Wuxi did not disappoint Su Yang. Under this powerful suppression, except for some Bai family members who were outside, the entire Bai family was emptied in less than an hour. The cells in Qingzhou City are also unprecedentedly full. A large amount of unabsorbed grain was also found in Baijia. Was counted by Zhen Wuxi. What happened to the Bai family quickly spread in Qingzhou City. For a while, the people of Qingzhou City applauded. In Qingzhou, the Bai family is the overlord. Even if there is no such thing as embezzlement of official food, the Bai family is not a good thing. At the same time, the entire Qingzhou town Wuxi is in action, not just in the state city. A large number of members of the Grandmaster Jingzhen Wuxi were sent to the 13 counties under the rule of Qingzhou. With the help of a master, it is naturally no problem to suppress the existence of corruption and profit in these counties. The only thing needed now is to wait. The food found in Bai's house was quickly shipped to various places under reasonable arrangements. For the entire Qingzhou, it is still not enough. However, Shazan has long grown a large amount of grain on the edge of several states bordering Qingzhou. In such a world, there are many ways to stimulate the growth of food. According to what Shazan said, it was about to arrive, and the wave of food collected from the Bai family just happened to resolve the gap during this period. As long as there is no problem with the land, ripening the grain is a matter of paying a small price. Didn't accelerate ripening in Qingzhou, That's because there is something wrong with the land of King Zhou, the vitality is cut off, and the seeds are not viable, how to ripen. Chapter 94 Lifting the Sword and Flying 90,000 Miles. The Bai family has been destroyed in Qingzhou City. At most, there are some remnants left, but they are all wanted criminals. In the future, you can only be like a mouse crossing the street, being found to belong to everyone shouting and beating. The next issue of food shortage, people like Zhu Shuwu will deal with it. Su Yong doesn't need to worry about it anymore. What he needs to do is to solve the root cause of Qingzu's appearance. Zhu Shuwu, do you know Qingzhou Shanmeng? The subordinates know that this is an alliance established by the evil immortals of Qingzhou, which gathers most of the evil immortals in Qingzhou, but the specific location is hidden in the dark and has not been exposed so far. Su Yong understands that, it seems that he still needs to use some means to find the lair of the Qingzhou Immortal League. But isn't this so-called Qingzhou Shanmeng too cowardly? They have ravaged the whole state, and they are still hiding in the dark like a mouse. Could it be that they are afraid that Wu Sheng will kill them? It's not impossible. It seems that there are cautious people in the Qingzhou Immortal League. Are there any clues? Probably range or something. Zhu Shuwu shook his head. This Qingzhou Immortal League was established not long ago, and I have only heard of its name. The other party acts in secret, and only recruits evil immortals above Foundation establishment. How about this, tell me all the locations of the evil immortals you know, even if it's just an approximate range. See, there is really no clue. Su Yong doesn't plan to care so much anymore. If he can't, he will fight from south to north, and kill through the entire Qingzhou. He still doesn't believe it, these evil immortals can't be killed cleanly. Besides, didn't Ji Xing say that Qingzhou Shanmeng would come to him? Su Yong wants to see if the other party will find him. Zhu Shuwu naturally has the positions of some evil immortals. If he really wanted something, he would probably be the commander of the town's military division. Not long after returning to Junwu Division, Su Yong had an extra piece of information on the location of the evil immortal. It records 312 places where evil spirits exist and where they might exist, covering the entire Qingzhou. The food in hand can be distributed according to the normal share, and more food will be shipped in the future. You don't need to worry about this. Finally, let me remind you once again that anyone who eats human blood steamed buns during this food shortage must not be let go. I don't care whether he is a member of the Bai family or our own government, one counts as one. If you can't feel the suffering of the people and lose your humanity, then I will help them get it back. Su Yong told Zhu Shuwu calmly while stepping away from Junwu Si. Zhu Shuwu followed behind and expressed his understanding one after another. It wasn't until he saw Su Yong walking away and boarding the flying boat that he finally breathed a sigh of relief and dared to stand up straight. That's right, he didn't even dare to stand upright in front of Su Yong. As for the reason, it's not how powerful Su Yong is, nor how terrifying Su Yong is. There is no other, too powerful, so powerful that Zhu Shuwu's celestial phenomenon is perfect, and he dare not show any disrespect. It's that simple. When Su Yong first came, he was not like this. Until Su Yong entered the Bai family, he killed the Grand Master like a chicken, the Grand Master, the celestial phenomenon, and the sky change. Only then did he understand that Su Yong is not some asterisk at all. Looking in the direction Su Yong left, Zhu Shuwu stood up straight. New warrior saint. Big Summer has hope. The chaotic situation in Great Sha, but anyone with a discerning eye knows that if it continues, sooner or later, the world will be in chaos. Now, the Dinghaishan needle appeared. On the airship, Ji Yushu began to plan the route according to the information provided by Zhu Shuwu. The 13 counties of Qingzhou, the vast land, is a place to grow food. Now that he has been harmed like this, he did not expect it. In the past, he had only heard about various evil spirits, but had never seen them with his own eyes. Of course, he didn't feel much in his heart. Now he just feels that evil spirits really cannot exist. Not to mention harming ordinary people, even warriors like them will find it difficult to survive when the whole world has become like Qingzhou, right? This is not just a disaster for ordinary people, it is a disaster for the whole world. Must be stopped. Fortunately, this disaster may be easily resolved. Ji Yushu controlled the direction in front of the flying boat, turned slightly sideways and saw Su Yong in the center of the flying boat. The flying boat sailed in the sky, and Su Yong swung his sword on the flying boat. This is his route. Cannot be neglected. The first place where the evil spirits are located is a deserted village. The villagers in this village have been evacuated to nearby county towns long ago, otherwise they would starve to death here without any relief. In the deserted village, there are special fluctuations all over the land. Under the induction of the sword intent, a large amount of energy in the earth continues to gather here and be absorbed again. This is plundering the vitality of this place. Su Yong didn't go down, nor did he make much movement. The sword intent enveloped this person, and then turned into a sword intent storm, tearing this person into pieces, leaving no residue. Completely disappeared in this world. Su Yong did not destroy these residences either. This is the residence of the common people. Perhaps the common people will come back after the famine is resolved. The spaceship continued to move forward. Just like this, it is in the land of King Zhou. 312 positions, one by one to kill. Wherever Su Yong passed by, the sword intent was enveloped, and the sense of intent and the spider web were fully activated. He will not let go of every corner. On this day, an evil immortal was cultivating in a mountain cave, but was suddenly obliterated by the sword intent that split the void, and his entire body disappeared into the world. On this day, the evil spirits hidden in the county were wiped out instantly, and the people of the county looked up at the flying boat as it passed by. However, not all evil immortals were directly wiped out by Su Yong. Su Yong did not directly kill some evil immortals whose strength had reached the foundation building stage. Since the Qingzhou Immortal League recruits the evil immortals of the foundation building stage, the evil immortals of the foundation building stage may be able to find the Qingzhou Shanmeng. It's the same as keeping the ancient Tong. Evil immortals who did not reach the foundation stage were wiped out by Su Yong. So strength is still very important. Speaking of Ji Yu Tong, Su Yong started his tracking eyes to observe, and found that the guy had left the place where he was recuperating, and was hanging out with some old guys, as if they were discussing a plan to deal with him. I have to say that they are really brave. Could it be that the strength he showed last time was not enough? Su Yong looked at the fleeing evil immortal of the foundation establishment stage on the flying boat, his eyes were deep. Run away, it is best to take me to the Qingzhou Shanmeng. The next 3 days, Su Yong lifted his sword across Qingzhou for 90,000 miles, destroying all evil spirits wherever he passed. No head rolled, because the evil immortals killed by Su Yong all evaporated without leaving any traces. Su Yang's terror also spread throughout Qingzhou within 3 days. The most important thing is to spread it to the ears of the evil immortals. There is a flying boat, and the existence inside will attack the evil spirits sensed by the passing places. Only in the foundation building period can there be a chance of escaping and surviving. For a while, the evil immortals in Qingzhou were silent, and they didn't dare to make any big moves, and all the actions of absorbing the vitality of the earth stopped. In 3 days, Su Yong swept across Qingzhou, killing at least 400 evil immortals. But this is certainly not all the evil spirits in Qingzhou. At least he did not find Qingzhou Shanmeng. Even if he traveled 90,000 miles across Qingzhou, under the cover of sword intent, he really couldn't find the location of Qingzhou Shanmeng. Can only wait for a connecting flight. During these 3 days, Su Yong continued to wield his sword, intermittently raising his sword intent to LV45, and his strength was greatly improved again. One thought can cover thousands of miles. He didn't know if the bigger and bigger movements would attract the attention of Taishang Shanzong. But he definitely has to prepare early. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 95. All the monsters in the world are coming. Qingzhou. After Su Yang's sword sweeping away all wastelands, it became much quieter. But the surface is calm, and the undercurrent is surging below. Qingzhou Shanmeng. They are very clear about what is happening in Qingzhou. Specialize in killing evil immortals, people who specialize in killing their Qingzhou Shanmeng, and even utter wild words that they want to crush their Qingzhou Shanmeng. If you have the ability, don't hide like a mouse. They are angry about these things. But at this time, the founders among them are breaking through the key of Jindan, and don't plan to make a move. The other members don't want to go out and fight Su Yong. They knew that Su Yong had killed many foundation building monks, and it was not worth taking their lives for the sake of Qingzhou Immortal League's face. It is better to leave this kind of matter to the founder. Besides, they didn't do nothing during the 3 days, knowing that Su Yang probably broke through to the realm of martial saints. Only when their lords leave the customs and add formations and magic weapons, can they fight against them. In summary, anger is anger, and unhappiness is unhappiness, but life is the most important thing. Except that King Zhou Shanmeng was very unhappy with Su Yangyang. The old monsters in the whole world are also eyeing Su Yang. 3 days ago, Su Yang's reputation had spread. In addition to possessing a strange treasure and suspected of being a 19-year-old martial artist, he also has the terrifying combat power to easily kill the 12 heavenly transformers. But they knew that one person escaped from Su Yang. That is Gutong. Since Ji Yutong can escape, there will be a chance to change the environment that day. After thinking about it for a while, many old monsters who were hiding in the depths with a short lifespan were moved. If they don't fight, they will surely die. Give it a try, maybe you can make a breakthrough. Breakthrough to the martial saint, that would increase their lifespan by 200 years, enough for them to live 2 lives again. They are not fools. Alone, or even 3 or 5 heavenly changes, even if they go to the limit, they still don't think they will be Su Yang's opponent. So during these 3 days, while collecting Su Yang's information, they contacted their old friends. Some of them sealed themselves in coffins in order to live longer, kicked open the coffin boards, and were born on the spot. In just one day, 37 extreme monsters of the sky-changing realm gathered. They are all the kind of old man and old lady whose teeth are about to fall out, age spots are growing on their faces, and the skin that falls off can trap mosquitoes to death. But it can be seen that they are all old-hearted. Form a core of seniors, ready to live a new life. 3 days passed, and they were fully prepared. Has come to Qingzhou area. On the desolate land, a group of people who were flying at high speed slowly slowed down. Is this Qingzhou? A group of old men and old ladies looked at the scene in front of them and their memory was blurred. When they were young, as influential figures, they basically traveled all over Kyushu, and they also saw the scenery of each state. Qingzhou is most famous for its green mountains and green waters. But now at a glance, not to mention green mountains and green waters, not even a grass can be seen. This evil fairy is really a disaster. I just heard about the evil fairy before, but now it seems to be a bit serious. If this continues, it will harm the foundation of the whole world. The wrinkles on Yan Wenyao's forehead tightened. If the evil immortal just kills some mortals, harms some common people, or does heinous things. None of them have much mood swings. Going to their stage, I have seen too much and done too much. But they can't stand the situation where the whole state is falling into collapse. Now it is a state, but how long has it been since the evil fairy appeared? 100 years. If this continues, Kyushu will not be able to harm for long. Why don't I take care of the evil fairy after I finish that Su Yang? Someone suggested. Old Ghost Wei, I didn't expect you, a murderous guy, to be the first to bring up this matter, ha ha ha. HMPH, I don't care if the evil immortal kills people like hemp, but I can't destroy the world. I'm not as hypocritical as you are. Even if I break through to the martial saint and the world is destroyed, it will affect me. Naturally, we must stop this sort of thing. Okay, they are all dying people, and they still insist on bickering. Let's go. The evil fairy will definitely deal with it, but let's take a look at the 19-year-old Great Sha Sword Immortal first. I hope the secrets in him will allow us to break through, unlike Daxia Wusheng, who was lucky enough to get a Wusheng pill to break through. So what if that kid Zhongsheng was lucky enough to break through? It's not like mastering the way to break through. The established Great Sha should have come to the end of its luck. The spaceship is still sailing in the sky. During the time when Su Yang was swinging his sword, he observed from time to time the evil immortal he was targeting. There are a total of 9 evil immortals in the Foundation establishment stage identified by him. It's a pity that after the 9 people ran away, they just found a place to hide. Did not lead him to find the location of Qingzhou Shanmeng. In 3 days, the flying boat can be regarded as flying over half of Qingzhou. Under the cover of Su Yang's sword, if he passes by the location of Qingzhou Shanmeng, he will definitely be spotted by him. Su Yang wants to create a sword move that directly locks the opponent's position. Actually, it doesn't work. The current level of sword intent is not enough to be so perverted. If you want to find the other party, you can find the other party. At least you have touched on cause and effect, right? Even if there is cause and effect, there must be some clues as a premise. For example, take that Ji Xing to deduce. The idea is good, let's improve the sword intent first. By the way, what do those LV30 old men and women mean? Su Yong released his sword intent all the time, so he naturally sensed that someone was coming towards him. And in an encircling posture. In just a few breaths, he has come to his flying boat. A few of the faces were somewhat familiar, having seen them when observing Ji Yutong. It seems that these old guys want to know the reason why he got stronger so fast. Sure enough, if people find something good, they will immediately remember it. Fortunately, his sword is sharp enough. Lock the sky array. A series of chains protruded from the void, forming an absolute blockade within a radius of 100 miles. Even the flying airship was imprisoned in place. At the front of the flying boat, Ji Yushu watched all this calmly. Another batch of sent to die. After the formation of the lock sky was formed, one by one the old guys walked through the air and surrounded the flying boat. Ji Yushu saw at a glance that there were quite a few famous people in the world. Wei Shengkong, Peach Blossom Swordsman, Candle Dragon Sword King, Shadowless Lord. Each of them has their own legendary stories. But without exception, they are all old, the old dying kind. Many of them were just hanging for a breath, but now they came out of the coffin after knowing Su Yang's situation. Boy in the flying boat, aren't you coming out yet? Wei Shengkong spoke out first. The entire flying boat has been surrounded by them, and Su Yang can't run away. The next step is the competition of strength. However, if they can obtain a way to break through the martial saint through conversation, they don't have to do it. Find me. Su Yang's faint voice sounded, he strolled to the front, and glanced around indifferently. There are a lot of sins on their heads. Do you want to know how I quickly cultivated to this level? That's right, kid, you are very good. If you can tell us the secret truthfully, we will leave naturally, and we don't have to fight with you. We know that you are powerful, we old bones may die most of us in a fight, so we are willing to talk first. Wei Shengkong said with a kind face and a smile. In fact, he has the highest level of sin in the field. Sin. LV999. Most of them died. I don't think so. It seems that you can still understand, kid. Wei Shengkong stared at Su Yang. For a moment he couldn't tell whether Su Yang's words were bowing his head or mocking. But people always think for the better. Chapter 96 Play. I play a fart. Looking at these old guys who are sure to win, Su Yang is thinking about a question. Do you want to act with them? For example, pretending that the fight was difficult, and then get injured. Try to seduce those rats in Qingzhou Shanmeng like this. But after thinking about it again, acting. Why do you want to act? He is acting a fart. Give him all the seconds, just be neat. As for the Qingzhou Shanmeng, if you have the ability, hide better and don't be found by him. He doesn't have many things and has the most time. He can definitely look for the Qingzhou Immortal League while wielding his sword, and eliminate the evil immortals in the entire Qingzhou territory by the way. After thinking up to this point, Su Yang also made a decision. Forget it. I'm not interested in playing with you. Su Yang shook his head. Wei Shengkong's face darkened. Boy, what do you mean? Su Yang didn't answer him. Many changes in the field could only feel a vast sword intent emanating from Su Yang. Changes the celestial phenomena within a radius of hundreds of miles in an instant. The clear sky turned into dark clouds in the blink of an eye. There are lightning and thunder in the dark clouds. Stop rambling, since this kid dares to fight first, he has no intention of cooperating. Let's find it from the corpse. Many experts in the sky-changing environment surrounding the flying boat discovered the clue. The voice fell, and 37 people shot unceremoniously. If you decide to do it, you must kill it with one blow, so as to minimize casualties. They don't want to fight Su Yang one by one, and they don't want to do the trick of hiding one hand. The surrounding celestial phenomena were completely changed for a while. Sword intent across the sky. The sky is full of swords, sometimes there are snowflakes, and sometimes there are strong winds. Green breath filled the air, and there were wisps of toxins enough to kill the celestial phenomena realm instantly. A flame rose and spread all the way towards the flying boat. There is also a stream of water covering the sky. The big palm that covers the sky seems to obliterate everything. All kinds of moves, all kinds of whole cards, at this time, were played one after another. I have to say, but they can see that if they don't use their full strength this time, they won't have a chance to make a move next time. Although it won't be of any use to make a full shot this time. Tisk tisk. It looks amazing, but it is rare to see such various artistic conceptions as scenery. Ji Yushu sat calmly in front of the flying boat, facing this seemingly inevitable scene again. He was very calm. Just look at the scenery. With the sword master around, he wasn't worried at all. Sure enough, in the next moment, these attacks that could easily destroy a state city were all torn apart by a sword intent that appeared in an instant. Blocked outside the airship, not even the right to touch the airship. How can it be? With such means, can Ji Yutong get out? Wei Shengkong couldn't help roaring out. All that happened in front of my eyes made my mind go blank, and Wanchen Sao Nima didn't know where to start. Seeing this scene happen, some of the 37 top-level changes on the scene ran away without saying a word, using their own escape methods to leave directly. The next second they broke their defenses and cursed. Wei Shengkong, quickly open the lock array of your grandma. Open black lens bracket sword of heaven thousand swords thunder. Close black lens bracket. The whole process was just a few breaths, and the thunderclouds in the sky were completely covered. Thunder is a single target attack, but he can also not be a single target attack. The meaning of the sword is according to my heart, and the strokes of the sword are according to my will. I need him to be Wanjian, and he is Wanjian. One thought fell. Thousands of blue lightning-covered sword intent pierced the sky. The Swoshan formation that sealed off 100 miles away was instantly shattered, and in front of Wanjian Lei Ming, it was paper. 37 top-level sky-changing powerhouses were instantly killed. Was blown up by the thunder of Wanjian, and the residue fell to the ground and turned into nourishment. Old Gu, let's go. Sword Master, wait a moment, I will collect the storage equipment of these people. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot, these resources are really too common. Su Yong also remembered that he forgot to touch the corpse. The main reason is that he killed a lot of heavenly changes, and the resources he collected were not of much help to him. Well, that's it, it's definitely not just about dressing. After getting the storage equipment of these people, Ji Yushu happily sat in front of the flying boat while controlling the direction, and began to organize the things in the storage equipment. As for Su Yong, he went back and continued to swing his sword. Thundermark Deer watched quietly from the side. The thunderclouds in the sky gradually dissipated. The spaceship sailed out slowly. Continue to fly over Qingzhou. In a short period of time, no one should find that 37 top sky-changing experts died here. Open black lens bracket will of all beings plus 23,111 close black lens bracket. Among the 37 people, there are many evil cultivators, and Wei Shengkong alone provided 9,999 points. 5 more days passed. In 5 days, Su Yong completely visited the whole Qingzhou, and killed at least 1,000 evil cultivators. Even so, he still didn't find any trace of Qingzhou Shanmeng. Could it be that you're not in Qingzhou? Su Yong had some guesses. Since he couldn't find it all the time, Su Yong didn't intend to keep looking for it. Recover the land of Qingzhou first. If the opponent continues to destroy the world, he will naturally be discovered by him. The consciousness of the way of heaven is said to be able to consume the source and revive the vitality of the entire Qingzhou. Originally, he planned to deal with the evil spirits of the Qingzhou Immortal League before considering restoring his life. In 5 days, his sword intent has reached LV50. At the same time, his physique has also been raised to the 6th rank. Next, with the help of medicinal bath, it only takes 5 days to upgrade to the 5th rank, which is extremely fast. The most important reason is that the level of sword intent has increased, and the effect of body tempering Gangfeng has also been greatly improved. This hugely improved node seems to have broken through to a new level when the sword intent reaches LV50. Not only the effect of body tempering Gangfeng has been greatly improved. The effect of the spider web has also reached a new stage, and the coverage range is not only able to perceive the shape of the object. You can also directly see the specific appearance. That is to say, within the scope of the sword intent, he can see everything. Combined with the existence of consciousness, he can also know the level of the opponent's realm. This is indeed a lot of improvement. In addition to the improvement in strength. Some other things happened during this time. For example, the annihilation sword array he arranged in the stronghold of the evil holy religion will be triggered from time to time. Some evil cultivators who went back just stepped into their lair and died as a result. There is also Gutong, who went to another stronghold of evil cultivators. According to what the tracking eye saw, Ji Yutong probably visited the other party in the past. Is also a cult. Very good, visiting old friends should move around more. Su Yong wrote down the location first, and did not deal with it for the time being. Just like that, after sweeping across Qingzhou, Su Yong returned to Qingzhou City again. At this time, Qingzhou City has a completely different scenery from the first day when Su Yong came here. When he came on the first day, the people were lifeless. Although they couldn't die of hunger, they couldn't get enough to eat. Even the state city was only better than those county towns. It is different now, these people are obviously more active. At least have the strength to start chatting. Before I was so hungry that I felt bad for saying one more word. The biggest chatter event is the arrival of the Great Sha Sword Immortal and the destruction of the Bai family. But apart from chatting, these people are also worried about the future. The current situation in Qingzhou is really too bad. The earth is cut off, what will they do in the future? Where does their future go? This book has a readership, and interested buddies can come in and talk about your expectations and so on. Finally, ask for a monthly ticket to hit the star list. Brothers, go. Chapter 97 Absurd Things. Qingzhou City. Hungry officials give me something to eat. Even if you don't give it, can you give us a happy time? In the city, there is a place dedicated to detaining sinners who profited from this famine. At this time, these people are already skinny and miserable. The officer on duty next to him turned a blind eye. Among them are members of the Bai family and some members of the government. Now they are feeling the pain that the people felt before. So far, they have been starved for 8 days. If I hadn't drank gruel twice in the middle, I might have died a long time ago. But even if he is still alive, he probably won't live for long. These people were kept outside, in the city, where the people could see. So, it is normal for some stones to fly over from time to time. The fact that they can live up to now is considered a success in their cultivation. Patriarch of the Bai family, Bai Haiyan, Elder Bai Junyi, Ancestor Bai Daochuan. After losing their strength, these top layers are not much different from ordinary people. After 8 days of torture, he was already skinny and completely out of shape. There are also some corrupt officials who are attached to the Bai family, and corrupt officials who tamper with the relief food. Also enjoy the same treatment. Was imprisoned here, circled up, and spurned by the people. This is not beating stone statues, this is beating real people, spurning real people. It feels completely different. The anger and injustice in the hearts of the people have been well vented. Let them feel extremely carefree in their hearts. After 8 days of fermentation, the ins and outs of this incident were basically spread. It is a big figure in the court, the existence of the title Great Sha Sword Immortal came and helped them solve the matter. The food problem can be regarded as a temporary solution, and with the large amount of food being shipped in, eating for a while should not be a problem. Regarding this, in the mouths of the common people, Su Yong is a fairy-like figure, a real in the sky. The current food crisis in Qingzhou can be regarded as a preliminary solution. At the same time, the 13 counties of Qingzhou also knew that the matter was resolved by Daxia Sword Immortal. It can be said without hesitation that it was Daxia Sword Immortal who saved tens of millions of people in their state. Word of mouth, singing praises. The reputation of Great Sha Sword Immortal has spread throughout Qingzhou. I'm a little fanatical, and I'm already thinking about erecting stone statues and gods. Su Yong has returned to Junwu Division. But now within the scope of his sword intent, he can see the specific situation. Also includes those guys who are being hungry. To be honest, it looks miserable. But because of their selfish desires, millions, tens of millions of people live their lives today. Thinking of this, Su Yong has no mercy for them. Now he still needs to solve the problem of Qingzu's severance of life, otherwise, the whole Qingzhou has been like this, and it will not be saved. He has already discussed with the consciousness of heaven. As long as there are enough seeds sown on the ground, under the temperature of the source, it will germinate and grow up in an instant. The vitality of the entire earth will be restored under the promotion of the source. In order not to waste this recovery, Su Yang still needs to make some preparations. That is to let the entire land of Qingzhou, where grain can be grown, be sprinkled with rice seeds. There is another reason for not doing this before. The next batch of grain has not yet arrived, and the existing grain needs to be used to stabilize the food shortage. Su Yang will not take risks lightly when he is not sure whether it will be 100% successful. The so-called rounding 90% to 80% is tantamount to death. He is not that exaggerated, but he is also used to playing it safe. I found Zhu Shuwu and told him about my arrangement. My lord, according to what you said, it's not okay to scatter the rice directly in the field, right? Zhu Shuwu was a little confused after hearing this. Is this how rice is grown? Even if Su Yang has the spiritual object to ripen the rice, Qingzhou can't grow any crops now, and the vitality is cut off. And now the land is dry, even if rice seedlings are cultivated, they cannot be planted. Zhu Shuwu carefully persuaded that food is precious now, so don't mess around, but he didn't dare to contradict Su Yang. Don't worry, do what I say, I have a way. Su Yang didn't explain too much, the other party will believe this kind of thing only after it succeeds. Understood. Zhu Shuwu bit the bullet and agreed. Su Yang has said so, even if he doesn't understand, he can't continue to contradict. Zhu Shuwu went down to make arrangements. Su Yang continued to swing his sword. After his physique reaches the 6th rank, his sword swing speed can reach 5,500 swords an hour. The lifting speed becomes slower as it reaches the back. At the beginning, Su Yang didn't reach his physical limit, so the improvement speed will be very fast. Now the limit has been reached. Every step forward, every point added, is breaking the limit. Unless his physique explodes directly, from a 6th grade brush to a 1st grade one. In this way, the speed of his sword swing will increase a lot in an instant. There is another problem, his current sword is very light, and the material is very ordinary. If it is not for the attachment of heaven, with his current swing speed, the sword would have been broken. Because of the attachment of the Tao of heaven, he didn't have to think about it. Just like that, Su Yang entered the state of swinging his sword. Ji Yushu is still sorting out those storage equipment. No way, there are too many, and we need to classify them, and we must clearly know the purpose of these things. Still very troublesome. Su Yang doesn't need to use these things, or he doesn't need to understand them at all. But he has to understand that he needs to know whether he has this thing in his hand at the first time when Su Yang needs it. Commander Zhu, wouldn't this be too ridiculous? When Zhu Shuwu passed on Su Yang's order, all the farming officials' eyes widened. They feel that their years of farming experience are being rubbed against the ground. The land is dry, and there is no water source, let alone. How can rice be cultivated without cultivating rice seedlings first? Now, according to Zhu Shuwu, there is no need for any process, just throw the rice into the ground, and then it will be done. You just need to do it. How can this be absurd? How can you and I understand my lord's fairy tricks? Besides, it is not impossible to directly turn rice grains into mature rice plants. There are many methods for practitioners. You think it is absurd, but it is just a matter of your vision. Zhu Shuwu insisted on explaining, even though he himself thought it was absurd, but he had seen Su Yang's strength, so he chose to believe in Su Yang. Commander Zhu, what you said is true, but even if it is the fairy family's means, one area is fine, and now the whole Qingzhou is going to do this, are you sure Su Jianxian has this ability? Zhang Shantu still wanted to persuade him. Now food is too important to the people of Qingzhou, and he really doesn't want to waste it at all. If it is scattered on the ground, it will be difficult to get it back. Just do it, don't delay Su Jianxian's major event, even if it really can't be done. There is not much food wasted, it's just some seeds, but if it can be done, it's because of you that it didn't get done, you must know the consequences better than me. This matter must be implemented, every link must be done well, there is no room for negotiation. Clear. Under Zhu Shuwu's strong request, this matter was quickly implemented. Next, it will take some time to sow all kinds of seeds in the fields of Qingzhou. Finally, about 3 days later, Zhu Shuwu sent the news that the sowing of the seeds had been done. Chapter 98 Be a Fairy on Earth. In 3 days, Zhu Shuwu had arranged for people to sprinkle all kinds of seeds on the fields that could be planted. These 3 days were the most stressful 3 days in his life. Too many doubts, too many puzzles. Even if he himself once suspected that Su Yang was messing around, he could only forcefully suppress these doubts according to Su Yang's wishes. Let them complete the task well. Fortunately, 3 days have passed. Now it's up to Su Yang whether it can be achieved. If it is really messy, this time it will really be reviled by tens of thousands of people. Compared to Zhu Shuwu's fright and fear, the pressure was huge, while Su Yang was very relaxed. Even if the way of heaven is not good, he will come by himself at worst. If you want to live with one sword, you need sword intent to reach LV100. Currently, he has the will of more than 100,000 sentient beings in his hand, and it is no problem to reach LV100, but doing so will waste the will of sentient beings. Heaven is not his only choice. At any time, Su Yang will not trust others 100%, and what he holds in his hands is the truth. You go down first, I will make a move next. Su Yang waved his hand and asked Zhu Shuwu to go down. After Zhu Shuwu retreated, Su Yang was also ready to let Tiandao take action. After he communicated with Tiandao, his expression was a little strange. What do you mean? You need me to go all the way, and you can mobilize the source of the places I take you through. Heaven consciousness. Yes, after all, I am still relatively weak. Fine. Although it is a bit troublesome, it will do if it can be done. It's just that he always feels weird, as if it shouldn't be like this. For a while, he couldn't think of what was wrong, so he could only follow the consciousness of heaven first. This time he didn't ask Ji Yushu to follow him, since he just walked once, then he would be much faster on the road with sword intent flowing light. Turn around Qingzhou carefully, at most one day. After all, it is not a straight line, it needs to cover every place in Qingzhou. Sword Master. Ji Yushu was about to say something when Su Yang interrupted him. Wait a minute, I have something to go out, you wait here and wait for me first. Su Yang gave an order, and hurried out, turning into a stream of sword intent soaring into the sky. Ji Yushu looked at some special spiritual objects in his hand, thought for a while, well, it's okay to wait for Su Yang to come back, there is no rush. So he put it away again first. Su Yang transformed himself into a stream of sword intent and came to the midair. According to the will of heaven, he was going to take a stroll in Qingzhou. As he moved, he did feel Tiandao moving. A special wave of power emanated from the 3-foot-long sword behind him. Straight into the earth. This force appeared very quickly, within a short time of 100 miles, a breath of vitality appeared. The water source gushes directly from the depths of the earth, and the seeds germinate rapidly. Withered trees come spring, and the long-lost greenness finally reappears. Seeing this scene, Su Yang felt relieved. Let's get started. But what Su Yang didn't know was, what he did at this moment was reflected in real time. Qingzhou City. A special force pervades the sky. The sky is constantly fluctuating, the void changes, and finally an image hanging upside down in the sky appears. In the image is a young figure, wearing a white gold patterned dress, stepping on the void, stepping forward, with a misty fairy air shrouded in his body, and a 3-foot-long sword on his back. Behind him is the dry land, the thousands of miles of red land in Qingzhou, the field outside Qingzhou City, the place where they just sowed the seeds. The young man walked forward step by step, and the ground behind him that was so dry that cracks appeared instantly changed its appearance. The dry riverbed ushered in the groundwater, the grass reoccupied the land, the dead trees came into spring again, and the rice germinated and grew instantly. From the seedlings, they grew rapidly, and soon reached half a person's height, and the branches bent over under the weight of the rice. The greenness of the rice quickly transformed again, turning into a golden yellow color and maturing, all in just a moment. In front of this misty youth, there is 1,000 miles of drought, and life is cut off. Behind this misty young man, there is greenery and vitality. Every time this ethereal young man steps forward, he can travel through layers of space and span hundreds of miles in one step. Where he walked, everything was recovering, and vitality was recovering. Who is that? Such pictures do not only appear in Qingzhou City, but cover the entire Qingzhou. The entire Qingzhou people looked at the sky obsessively, and the dreamlike scene made them feel unreal. But wanting it to be real, and at the same time they're wondering who is that. A piece of information appeared in the minds of all Qingzhou people. Open black lens bracket Great Sha Sword Immortal, Su Yang. Close black lens bracket. It appeared abruptly and seemed natural, but it didn't matter. At this moment, the people of Qingzhou looked up at that figure bewilderedly. Great Sha Sword Immortal, Su Yang. Is all this true? They recognized the current location of Su Yang, which is in the core of Qingzhou, near Qingzhou City. After all, there is the shadow of Qingzhou City in the phantom hanging upside down in the sky. Even if it is fake, come to their location. In the 13 counties of Qingzhou, people from all walks of life looked forward to the miracle in the sky. The people in the distance don't know, but the people in Qingzhou City have already run outside frantically. They want to know if this is true or not. A large number of people ran out of the city, and when they saw that the outside of the city was not drought, it was not dry and cracked loess. It is the green world time. They couldn't stop the tears from the corners of their eyes. This is the joy of being rescued from a desperate situation, and the tears of excitement shed could not be restrained. They couldn't help bowing to the sky, they were kneeling to the Great Sha Sword Immortal. There are immortals in the sky, but they don't care about them, they are immortals in the sky. There is an immortal on the ground named Great Sha Sword Immortal, and to them, they are even more immortals in the world. I will wait for the common people, thank the Great Sha Sword Immortal. Qingzhou City, Zhu Shuwu and other officials also came to the edge of the city. At first glance, it was a mass of people kneeling down in darkness, bowing to the upside-down statue in the sky. Zhu Shuwu was dumbfounded when he looked at the magic tricks reflected in the sky. He also finally knew the reason why Su Yang asked him to plant the seeds. Not only Zhu Shuwu understood, but all the members involved in this matter already understood. The puzzlement in my heart suddenly became clear, and I admired Su Yang's immortal method even more. Throughout Qingzhou, tens of thousands of people watched everything in the sky, watching the Great Sha Sword Immortal step by step across Qingzhou. Hongqing County, Fenggu County, Baixiang County, Osca County. Passing through the counties one by one, when passing through these counties, the people in the counties have discovered that the phantoms in the sky are shining into reality. It's all true. Seeing this miraculous scene, all the people can do is to kneel down and kowtow in thanks. In Qingzhou City, Ji Yushu looked at the sky and secretly remembered Su Yang's hobby. What did Su Yang tell him before? He likes to keep a low profile. Now you look at the image of the entire Qingzhou sky, is this low-key? Maybe slightly different from the low-key he thought. Su Yang used his sword intent to fly rapidly in the sky, and he didn't know anything about the things below. He just wants to restore the whole Qingzhou as soon as possible. Chapter 99 Turning Point appears, sword stepping on the Immortal League. Su Yang was flying rapidly, but suddenly felt something was wrong. Why did his reflection appear in the entire sky? He looked at the long sword behind him. What did you do? I think what the Sword Immortal has done is worthy of publicity and known by the world. Since I have been conscious and observed it, if I want a spirit to spread, I need to spread this spirit and be known by the world, so that people will continue to yearn for it. To inherit this spirit, for example, the appearance of a hero in a certain period of time in the past has influenced the warriors of an era, making most warriors yearn for heroes, and then become heroes. You are right, but I don't want you to make up your own mind. You need to ask me for my opinion on what to do. Su Yang spoke calmly, he doesn't like things beyond his control. Clear. Feeling Su Yang's displeasure, the heavenly Tao consciousness quickly bowed its head and admitted its mistake. After reprimanding Tiandao a little, Su Yang noticed something. A new turning point quietly appeared. One of the 9 foundation building stage monks stared at by Su Yang made a new move after seeing the sudden change in the entire land of Qingzhou. Flying away in one direction. This sudden change caught Su Yang's attention immediately. In the past 11 days, these 9 people basically did not have much movement. Basically belong to the kind that hides and lives honestly. After paying attention to this person for a while, Su Yang didn't care so much, and continued to fly over Qingzhou. In the past 2 hours or so, the foundation building monk who had a special movement really arrived at a special place. Depending on the situation, it is probably Qingzhou Shanmeng. The Qingzhou Shanmeng is not in Qingzhou as Su Yang guessed. Qingzhou Shanmeng is in Kangzhou next door. When Su Yang saw this scene, he could only say, "Good guys, you are real dogs, Qingzhou Shanmeng is not in Qingzhou, no wonder you can't be found in Qingzhou." Wait, when I restore King Zhou, it will be your death. He Chuan feels that he can't believe what he saw until now. He actually watched with his own eyes helplessly that King Zhou, whose vitality had been cut off, was recovering rapidly. The most important thing is that the one who restored the entire King Zhou was actually the great Sha Sword Immortal. Such methods are too terrifying, but he feels that it must not have been done by the great Sha Sword Immortal with his own strength. During this period of time, he was collecting information about great Sha Sword Immortal. Su Yang's information was not concealed, so he was quickly investigated. Judging from the trajectory of Su Yang's rise, He Chuan only had one idea at the beginning. Su Yang has a secret. Up to now, he guessed that this secret might be the fragment of heavenly Tao. That's right, with Su Yang's strength, even if he reaches the martial saint realm, it's impossible to restore King Zhou, which is about to die. If you want to achieve this step, you can't even achieve the consummation of the golden core of Taishang Shanzong. Only the way of heaven in this world can achieve this step. After discovering this information, he immediately rushed to King Zhou Shanmeng, intending to report the news. The so-called King Zhou Shanmeng was created by the core disciples of the Taishang Shanzong. They just practiced for the sake of strength. Everyone in the King Zhou Shanmeng knows that the Taishang Shanzong is looking for traces of the fragments of the Tao of Heaven. As long as it is discovered and reported, there will be great rewards. Someone discovered it before, and then received a heavy reward, and his strength has improved from the early stage of foundation establishment to the late stage of foundation establishment. Now that he has discovered it, he will definitely be rewarded. Thinking of this, He Chuan was very excited, and quickly entered the hidden fairy mountain of King Zhou Shanmeng with his identity token. And he quickly reported the news. In King Zhou Shanmeng, I soon learned the news, but as before, the creators of the King Zhou Immortal League should not act rashly during the critical period of breaking through the golden elixir. Can only be put on hold first. After the core disciple of the Supreme Immortal Sect completes the breakthrough, the King Zhou Immortal League will discuss how to deal with Su Yang. In the King Zhou Shanmeng, there is more than one disciple of the Supreme Immortal Sect. There are also some horse boys of the core disciples of the Supreme Immortal Sect. They also know a little about Su Yang's strength, and Su Yang has the help of heavenly Tao fragments. They knew that even if their master broke through to the golden core stage, he would definitely not be Su Yang's opponent. Must go back to Taishang Shanzong to invite people. However, this kind of thing is not up to them to decide. Whether to invite someone or not has the final say after their master breaks through. Now their master is still breaking through, so they can't be disturbed, so they can only wait. Half a day passed in the blink of an eye. During this half day, the entire King Zhou people have fallen into carnival. King Zhou has recovered. Restored to the appearance of more than 10 years ago. Not a year ago, it was 10 years ago. King Zhou is a dry land that began to appear 10 years ago. It started out as a small piece. After the imperial court found out, it also began to deal with the evil immortals. After 10 years of struggle, it is clear that the imperial court was defeated, and the whole King Zhou became a desolate area. Until the last year, it gradually seemed to be dying off. Now, under the restoration of Daxia Sword Immortal, the entire King Zhou has been restored. How can this prevent the people from falling into carnival? Many older people could not stop crying. No one knows better than them how much effort they have put into this land. For them, this is their route. As the land of King Zhou was restored, the people of King Zhou discovered that the scene in the sky was changing. Big Sha Sword Immortal left King Zhou and headed for Kangzhou next door. Seeing this scene, everyone was curious as to where Daxia Sword Immortal was going. I saw the scene in the sky change rapidly, and soon came to a towering mountain. This mountain is shrouded in white clouds, and the fairy spirit is faint. If there are white cranes patrolling the mountain, it must be a fairy mountain. When everyone was surprised, a sword intent to tear the sky appeared in an instant. In just a moment, it cut through the layers of white clouds in the fairy mountain, revealing the attics on the fairy mountain. The sword intent was not dispersed, and fell on the mountain, cutting a sword mark, and several attics collapsed in it. King Zhou Shanmeng. The immortal cultivators gathered here are all in a daze at this moment. They were still discussing how to deal with Su Yang, but why did Su Yang call here? They quickly realized that they all glared at He Chuan. It's you. It's you who brought people back. He Chuan panicked and waved his hands again and again. No, how could it be me? If it was me, he would have come here long ago. Hearing He Chuan's explanation, everyone frowned and thought, there is some truth to it. In addition, the most important thing now is to deal with Su Yang, so there is no way to pursue it. Look at him first, if there is a change, kill him immediately. A disciple from the Supreme Immortal sect gave the order directly. Immediately, someone stared at He Chuan. Wei Minghao dodged into the midair and activated the mountain protection array. A cloud of milky white clouds gathered beside him, which gave him the confidence to face Su Yang. Great Sha Sword Immortal, I'm curious how you found this place. Su Yang had just split the mountain's fascination formation, and another large mountain protection formation was opened, and another person came not far in front of him. I have to say that the response is quite fast. Of course he brought me here. Su Yang looked at He Chuan. Still saying it wasn't you. Wei Minghao looked at He Chuan viciously. I'm wronged. He Chuan's heart was beating wildly. Without waiting for his explanation, Wei Minghao cast out a killing technique. The situation changed, and he gathered the wind to attack, instantly blowing up He Chuan. Su Yang doesn't care, he will die if he kills or not, sooner or later, this person has no level of guilt, so it doesn't matter. Under the influence of emotion, the highest level in this mountain is only LV30. Although you found this place, what can you do? Just as Wei Minghao finished speaking, he saw a sword intent blast out, piercing through the mountain protection formation in an instant. He looked at the formation token in his hand. Broken. How can it be? Su Yang is too lazy to talk nonsense with them. In a single thought, the vast sword intent rushed out of his body, soaring straight into the sky, covering the entire mountain. The clear sky is suddenly covered by dark clouds. Chapter 100 Open the door to send warmth. Under the rolling thunder clouds is the Qingzhou Shanmeng. Surrounded by the majestic power of the sky, all the cultivators felt terrified. Not good. Do everything, don't let him continue. Seeing this scene, Wei Minghao couldn't just sit still and quickly called everyone to take action. All kinds of attacking immortals tore through the sky and attacked Su Yang. The momentum is extremely huge, vowing to tear Su Yang to pieces. It's a pity that these methods were instantly torn apart by the sword intent of the automatic body protection 10 meters away from Su Yang. Seeing this scene, the opponent still didn't give up, and the next wave of spells came quickly. Su Yang didn't care, they only had one chance to attack. The large-scale attack needs to be brewed for a while, but a few seconds are enough. Open black lens bracket Sword of Heaven Thousand Swords Thunder. Close black lens bracket. Qingzhou hangs upside down in the sky. Su Yang was suspended in midair indifferently, and further up was the dark cloud layer, in which lightning and thunder intersected. Many people in Qingzhou were completely shocked when they saw a scene they had never seen before. Seeing that there are immortal cultivators facing Su Yang using various immortal techniques to put Su Yang to death. The people of Qingzhou couldn't help worrying about Su Yang, and they even couldn't help shouting, Great Sha Sword Immortal, be careful. But in a blink of an eye, they saw that when various immortals approached Daxia Sword Immortal, they were torn apart by a wave of sword intent, and they couldn't even touch Daxia Sword Immortal. Seeing this, they couldn't help but become fanatical, with extreme respect for Daxia Sword Immortal in their eyes. It's just that they don't understand what Sword Immortal Daxia is doing, and who is his enemy. When this doubt appeared in the hearts of the people, a message automatically appeared in their minds. Open black lens bracket the evil immortal who led to the severance of Qingzhou's vitality. Close black lens bracket. Countless people suddenly realized that this is the case. These people really deserve to die. After knowing the truth, the people became angry, wishing that these people would die immediately. At this moment, the people of Qingzhou saw countless azure blue lightning and lightning falling from the thunderclouds in the sky. Looking carefully, it is a sword of blue thunder and lightning. Thousands of swords blare. Qingzhou Wanmen seemed to hear the sound of thunder and lightning in their ears at this moment. Thousand swords thundered and roared, filling the sky and pouring into the fairy mountain. Under the eyes of Wanmen, the entire fairy mountain was covered by the lightning sword, and no area was spared. In just a few breaths, the thundercloud faded, and the fairy mountain became scorched black with no good land. As for the lofts standing on the mountain peaks, there is nothing left. The last scene is Daxia Sword Immortal turning around and leaving. The image hanging upside down in the sky ends here. King Zhou Wanman's heart surge also reached its peak at this moment. Immortal. They are also fortunate to see the immortal come to the world. Food shortage in Qingzhou. Completed. The will of all living beings plus 37000. Open black lens bracket kill reward. Will of all beings plus 321 close black lens bracket. In fact, this is not the case, and the final picture is still somewhat different. Although Su Yong turned around and left. However, the storage bags of many immortal cultivators below also flew away behind Su Yong. This point of consciousness of the way of heaven felt unsightly, so it was removed. After solving this problem, Su Yong did not choose to return to Qingzhou City immediately. First, it turned into a streamer of sword intent, and wiped out the other 8 foundation building stage evil immortals located in Qingzhou. Then quickly flew towards a cult stronghold that Ji Yutong had visited. At this time, Ji Yutong had already left the cult stronghold, and was going to hold some demon meeting with a heaven-changing cultivator in that stronghold. This is good. When all the top evil cultivators gather, wouldn't they be able to catch them all in one go? Sure enough, keeping Gutong was an extremely correct choice. But before that, let's go and destroy this cult called the Spiritual Sect. Without him, it is an eyesore. Taishang Shanzong. In the True Spirit Pavilion. Boom. There was an explosion, and the stationed disciples who were sitting cross-legged and practicing immediately woke up. Not good. The spiritual position of the soul is broken, and some core disciples have died. He quickly got up to check. Senior brother Chu Ling, Foundation Establishment Zochan, why did he die suddenly without even sending out a distress call? There should be no one in this world who can instantly kill brother Chu Ling, not even that great Sha martial saint. Could it be that brother Chuling failed to break through? It doesn't matter, report to the suzerain first. The death of a core disciple is a major event for Taishang Shanzong. This person left here in a hurry and reported the matter to the sovereign of the Supreme Immortal Sect. Zongmin Hall. Yao Xingchen has received a report that core disciple Chuling died. Do you know his recent movements? Back to the suzerain, senior brother Chuling has set up a Qingzhou Immortal Alliance in Qingzhou, and he may be preparing to break through the golden elixir. Okay, I see, you go down first. Yes. The disciples stationed at the Junling Pavilion left. Soon, Yao Xingchen told the news to Chu Ling's master, the elder of the Jindan late stage of the Taishang Shanzong, Taoist Liyang. Let him handle it, after all, he is his direct disciple. Liyang Taoist originally practiced fire attribute exercises and had a bad temper. When he learned that his only direct disciple had died, the mountain where the Supreme Immortal Sect was located obviously felt a burst of anger. It is strange that there are many unclear situations. What is Liyang Taoist going crazy? A figure wrapped in raging fire also left from the Supreme Immortal Sect and flew towards Qingzhou. Tianan Prefecture. Su Yong turned into a streamer of sword intent and galloped across the sky. His current level is LV53, and his speed is many times faster than before. Across 3 continents, it only took a cup of tea. According to the positioning, he locked on the location of the God Spirit cult in the blink of an eye. Su Yong discovered that these cults like to hide in the mountains. The same is true for the religion of the gods. When he came to the entrance of the spirit cult, Su Yong didn't intend to cause too much damage here. Because of the successful case of destroying the sword array before, he planned to still quietly kill all the evil cultivators here without making too much noise. Then arrange an annihilating sword array in the cult stronghold. In this way, when the cultivators go out and come back, the annihilation sword formation will give them a surprise. It's a very convenient thing, even if the people in this cult stronghold are killed quietly, it won't waste much of his time. Bang bang bang. The evil cultivator stationed behind the stone gate trembled suddenly. What's the situation? What the asterisk is this knock on the door? Has an outsider discovered this place? Just when the janitor Shisho felt a little confused, he felt that the stone door was opened by the token as usual, and the door was opening automatically. He was relieved to see this scene. Which is teasing me, he obviously uses a token to open the door, and even knocks on the door. Wait for me to see if I can scold first. Resisting the urge to yell, the man stared out of Shimon with wide-eyed eyes. Soon, a young man he had never seen before appeared in front of him. Who is this? A thought appeared in his mind, but it was also his last thought. Su Yong walked by calmly. The place was empty, the body of Xiaoxiu was obliterated by the sword intent, and the flesh and blood did not exist in the world. About a quarter of an hour later, Su Yong wandered around inside and came out. As for the evil cultivators inside, they have been completely killed. There is not a single living person or corpse in the entire mountain. Of course, the belongings belonging to the evil cultivator were also packed away by Su Yong. Unfortunately, the storage equipment cannot be loaded into the storage equipment. Su Yong looked at the bulging storage equipment in his pocket and felt a little troublesome. Open black lens bracket will of all beings plus 53,221 close black lens bracket. A top evil cultivation force controlled by Tianchangqing, a cult that has harmed countless innocent people. There are many rewards, which makes Su Yong feel that they should be damned. Thank you for watching. Continue exploring the fascinating world of Chinese novels with us. Hit that subscribe button on Chinese Novel Audiobook to stay updated with our latest stories, and never miss out on a great listen.